Well, toss not going your way. Would you have still done the same thing?
Yeah, actually, we also hope to, if we win the toss, we are going to bowl first. But fortunately, we get that.
All right. Yesterday was a strong first day performance from your side. Result not going your way, but then certainly things are looking positive.
Yeah, definitely, because of the way our boys given that fight against UAE, they have that confidence now. Unfortunately, not win the game, but hope from today we are continue our winning moment.
All right. Do well today.
Thank you very much.
So that's it from the center here, where Cambodia have won the toss and they've elected to bat first.
Women's Premier Cup. We are live from Al Emirat here in beautiful Muscat, Oman. And it is all going to be set for a brilliant day's cricket. We've got 4 games between the two groups. Double-header action on both Turf Academy Ground 1 and Turf Academy Ground 2. And if yesterday is anything to go by, we're in for a real treat. And that is what we've got in action today after a marvellous effort in the ACC Challenger Cup. Cambodia come up to the big boys level for the first time. It is very much David versus Goliath today. Goliath being filled out by the role of Kuwait. Cambodia will have it all to do, but what an occasion for Cambodian cricket here in Oman. Okay, let's get down and find out what happened at the toss a little earlier with our co-commentators.
It's toss time here at the Oman Cricket Academy as we are on match day 2 for the ACC Men's T20 Premier Cup 2024. To my left are, of course, the men who matter the most, as in match number 5, it's going to be Kuwait taking on the likes of Cambodia. Joining us in the center is, of course, our match official, Mr. Prakash Bhatt. And the home team for today is going to be Kuwait captain Mohammad Aslam, who's going to be spinning the coin. Tails was the call. Congratulations. What would you like to do?
Bat first.
बैटिंग क्यों कर रहे हैं आज? कुछ कंडीशंस में ऐसा है, आपका फर्स्ट गेम है टूर्नामेंट का, आप कैसे लेके जाएंगे ये टूर्नामेंट आगे यहाँ से?
हमने लास्ट मैच देखे तो अच्छा टारगेट हुआ है, कोशिश यही करेंगे कि एक अच्छा टारगेट करें।
ओके, टीम कैसी लग रही है? टीम में क्या कुछ चेंजेस है या कौन से लड़कों को चांस मिल रहा है आज?
सेम लड़के पीछे जो खेलते हैं वही हैं, सेम लड़के इंशाल्लाह अच्छा करेंगे।
ऑलराइट, ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर टुडे। Well, toss not going your way. Would you have still done the same thing?
Yeah, actually we also hope to, if we win the toss, we are going to bowl first. But fortunately we get that.
All right. Yesterday was a strong first day performance from your side. Result not going your way, but then certainly things are looking positive.
Yeah, definitely, because of the way our boys given that fight against UAE, they have that confidence now. Unfortunately not win the game, but hope from today we are continuing our winning moment.
All right, do well today.
Thank you very much.
So that's it from the center here, where Cambodia have won the toss and they've elected to bat first.
Okay, we can confirm just a little bit of confusion downstairs at first, but Cambodia have won the toss and elected to bat. And that's a big call given their status coming into this level for the very first time. They'll be captained by Lugban Butt. Just the 3 cricket clubs represented here, almost all of the players coming from either Phnom Penh or Siem Reap. And for Kuwait, just the one change. Out goes Syed Manib and in comes Parvinder Kumar. Really strong Kuwaiti side. You'd expect them to be big favourites today. And there come the teams on both grounds. You can actually see in the background the action is all set to go on Oval 2. You can watch that, of course, live on the Asian Cricket Council YouTube channel. If you're around the world, if you're in India on Fancode, or Nepal have a TV partner too. That's Kantapur TV, Kantapur Max. You can enjoy the action on both games being broadcast live there. Fantastic to see. So yeah, it's Group B action, and you would think certainly for Kuwait it's a must-win. May well be a must-win for Bahrain across at the second ground. That's against UAE. Bahrain winning the toss there and choosing to field. Andrew Leonard here alongside Mikhail Vaswamy. Mikhail, very good morning to you. Hope you're well rested. Should be a super Saturday.
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning to all of you as well, tuning into our Asian Cricket Council YouTube page and the respective networks. Oh yes, good rest and super Saturday indeed. Double headers, great weekend, and a great opportunity here for Cambodia as well to just make a mark. They're finding their feet at associate level up against a wounded Kuwait, who were very close to securing a good win last evening, and they'll be eager to just add those first points.
I have to say you sound very fresh, very well rested, like myself. We actually got some good sleep last night, which is unusual for a Friday night for us. Very well behaved last night. Here's the two openers for Cambodia. It's hard to get across how big an occasion this is for Cambodian cricket. It's Vimukthi Radella who's going to open up alongside Uday Singh, the keeper batter. Saw him in the warm-ups, and it really is, it's David Goliath today. 42nd in the world versus 26th in the world doesn't really do it justice. Shahrukh Kudus, what an outstanding start yesterday. Two little nip-backers picked up the big wickets of Mohammad Wasim and then Tanish Suri from the first two balls, would you believe. There's our umpires for today. Standing at the pavilion end, that's Khalid Das from Malaysia, and alongside him at square leg right now at the media centre end, the very experienced, fantastic to have Sundaram Ravi, S. Ravi from India, dropping down from the elite panel and helping to bring on the next generation. Beautiful day for cricket. It is warm, we won't lie, but we're all set on game day 2. Cambodia entry into the tournament, and very nearly some runs from the first ball. 3 cricket clubs, just 1 cricket ground. Cambodia have it all to do, but what a story. They deserve to be here. They were brilliant in the Challenger Cup in Thailand.
Oh yes, and this opportunity certainly will pave the way for more cricketers coming out of their country. As you mentioned, just 1 cricket ground over there. It's not about the resources sometimes, it's all about the passion and the heart they put in, and clearly it'll be shown today as well. Shahrukh Kudus, successful outing yesterday.
Not given as a wide, and not quite sure why. I don't think Uday Singh can understand it either. Surely that was outside the guidelines, Mikhail.
First one down the leg side, this one way outside off. Very lucky to get away. Maybe a little leniency shown to the loosener, but no, that should be actually runs for the batting side.
2 slips in place, and the reason those 2 slips are in there, the movement that he was initially getting away, but this time it goes down the leg side, will be given as a wide. The first run's on the board for Cambodia. If you're wondering about the scale of the challenge for Cambodia, they went into that Challenger Cup and it was a phased tournament. There was 10 teams in theory playing out for the 2 spots here, but they actually segregated it. The top 7 ranked sides went in automatically to the group stages, and there was initially a qualifier stage. That was between Cambodia, Myanmar and China. So Cambodia were one of the 3 lowest ranked sides in the Challenger Cup, and they've managed finishing in the top 2. They won that qualifier stage. They beat Myanmar and then China very convincingly, bowling China out for just 37, would you believe. Then they went into Group A, where they got through to the semi-finals alongside Saudi Arabia. They were good enough to beat Indonesia and Bhutan. And then, remarkably, they managed to get past Singapore. It was a huge upset, the biggest win in their history. They bowled Singapore out for 109 and chased it down, 4 wickets down. So alongside Saudi Arabia, who were unbeaten, it was Cambodia that took the second qualification spot. They've got runs off the bat now. It's an incredible story, a real underdog story.
Rightly summed up there, Andrew. What a story it's been for Cambodia, and what a start as well. They'll want to make it count. They'll want to grab this opportunity. It's important they announce themselves.
And then in the final of that Challenger Cup, they gave Saudi Arabia, who are a fine side, very competent at this level, they gave them a real run for their money. Posting 147 for 5, it was the skipper, Lukman Butt, who we'll probably see in at number 3. He made 80 not out off just 53. And Saudi Arabia chased that down with 5 wickets down. They're in a bit of trouble at some points in that chase. So this is a little nip-backer, probably just outside the line. There'll have been a bit of worry from Vimukthi from his first delivery, but he survives.
This one just deviated off the seam. A very good delivery, and that's what Shahrukh Kudus can do. Can get the ball to move both ways. And that one nipped back. Just caught Vimukthi by surprise. The slip in place. Deep backward square leg. On the off, everyone inside the circle as well. That's played down to third, so Vimukthi gets off the mark with a single as well. Both the batters now have the first runs on the board. This has been a decent over. Just 2 runs, 3 runs coming off it. After over number 1, it's 3 for no loss.
So there is the starting 11s. 4 players born and bred in Cambodia in their 14-player squad. There's also players of South African, of Indian, Pakistani, and indeed Sri Lankan origin in the team. But great to see the local players come through. Phon Bun Thien is one to keep your eyes on. And also Sharwin Gadara. Great to see homebred players come through for Cambodia. For Kuwait, very, very strong at this level. They focus of a real speciality on T20 cricket. They've had a little bit of a shuffle, haven't they, from a coaching perspective. As Ilyas Ahmed starts short and wide, well, that's a buffet ball. Help yourself. And slashed away, a first boundary of the competition. Good start for Cambodia.
And a very confident one as well. And that's how they should be playing, a fearless brand of cricket. They have nothing to lose at this stage. Short and wide, invitation was there. All he had to do is put it away. And he does that in style. And believe you me, this will certainly help his confidence as well. Good start here for Vimukti. He's making intentions clear.
Better line this time. Yeah, been a big shuffle, isn't there, Mikhail, in terms of the coaching setup? You think of Pushpak Amara. Just got a quick look at the ground staff there, didn't we? Done a brilliant game. Done a really good job, the ground staff, haven't they? We're onto a fresh pitch today, but just talking about the coaching setup for Kuwait. No longer Pushpak Amara in charge as head coach. Herschel Gibbs came in as, I think, what was an interim head coach for a couple of games, and now it's Mohammed Kasim, who was at the ICC Cricket Academy. He's come in as the head coach. Shayan Shashika, the fielding coach, remains with the side, and Saud Kumar, the team manager.
That'll be given wide. Kuwait need to bring in a little bit of discipline. They were superb yesterday in the beginning. They got the new ball to move. Ilyas will have to just about find his channels as early as possible. Cambodia, for now, they'll be just about be eager to apply the crease occupation strategy and make good use of the first 6 overs.
Definitely one of my favourite kits going around world cricket as well. Colourful and bright. Like the light blue to red combo. You know, when you think of Cambodia, you don't necessarily think of a cricketing history as Vimukti gets back, but only just. You think of a great destination to travel to, wonderful tourism. S. Ravi's laying down the law. Do not run down the middle of the pitch. Only have one ground in Cambodia. It's an artificial pitch, so playing on turf, they said, took a lot of adjustment in Thailand.
Most associated nations are just about building their cricket, Andrew, have the artificial turf pitches at this stage. And everyone's eager to get into the natural turf. Nicely bowled. Punched off the back foot. And a quick single. Vimukti will get to the other end. And that's how they should be playing their cricket. He's got the boundary. Rotate the strike and get to the other end.
You had a chat to them this morning, didn't we, Mikhail? And you could just sense the excitement. It was tangible. Very much understanding they may not be able to win any games here this week. Any win they get would be the biggest in their history. The victory over Singapore, who've been a bastion of the premier level of ICC associate cricket for and ACC associate cricket for the best part of 30 years. Now this could be close. It's moved a long way back in, but height is S. Ravi's concern. Given his leg buys, no bat involved. It pitched in line. It impacted in line, but may just have been going over the top. Good decision. End of the second over. 10 for none.
Very good delivery. Just nipped back sharply. And clearly the height factor coming into play. And a very good decision as well by S. Ravi. Well, Ilyas thought he had his man. Cambodia, tentative, watchful. Certainly they'll feel the nerves, the butterflies as well. But what an occasion, what an opportunity. They've really fought hard. Andrew took us through the entire process through which Cambodia got to this level, and now they'll be eager to just about make a splash in the tournament. You never know, they could be the nuisance value as well for one of the teams as it progresses.
And the two slips have come out. Cambodia have just started brightly, haven't they? Yeah, I think one of the big decisions, the big changes that has made such a difference to associates of this level is that T20I status being granted to all associates. Sometimes, particularly those from full member nations, they get their knickers in a twist, don't they, over status and records being broken. And, well, how can you compare Yuvraj Singh's 12-ball 50 to Dipender Singh Airi's 9-ball 50? But in the bigger picture, giving these games status, and now with Olympic recognition coming along as well, it's massive for developing cricket in smaller nations, in non-traditional cricket nations. And that's beautifully driven. Well, Uday Singh has started with a bang. That's a lovely drive. What a way to hit his first boundary.
Exquisite is the word. Just like the way he got close to the ball and got that shape as well in playing that four. Very nicely done. That was not all that entirely pitched up. He had to reach out to it. But once he got past mid-off, it was always going to be for placement and timing. Well, the Cambodian openers certainly putting on a show. They've been very selective with their stroke making, and that's been the highlight of this essay so far.
Yeah, and that decision by the ICC made in 2018 came into effect for women's cricket in 2018, for men on the 1st of January 2019. The reason it's made such a big difference, you might say, well, hold on, can they not just still play internationals even if they're not given official status? The difference it makes is you get a spot on the world rankings table. So you're all of a sudden able, as your cricket board, the Cambodian Cricket Association, you're able to go to the Cambodian government and say, we're ranked 42nd in the world. Shorter this time, nicely pulled away. They'll think of two, but not a great piece of running between the wickets, just the one. And then you combine that with the fact that the vast majority of countries in the world, they fund their sport through the Olympic committees. So because the money comes through the Olympic committees, now it's got Olympic recognition. All of a sudden there's all sorts of resources, facilities and money that all of these boards can start tapping into. I think the coming decades are going to see significant growth for the likes of Cambodia and many other countries around the world.
Now the quick single towards covers. Yes, many cricket boards. I did have a chat with a couple of you, like Uzbekistan cricket as well. They are working on their development and trying to bring in as much competition and resources as well. Associate cricket certainly is at one of its best phases, and this is a great opportunity for Cambodia as well.
Cracking shot, maybe the shot of the morning. Uday Singh gets the second boundary of the over. One through the covers, now one pulled well in front to square. Glorious stroke.
Very ordinary ball. Way too short. In fact, he did it on the front foot. He didn't have to go on the back as well. Just goes to show how good this wicket is playing. 2 boundaries in this over. Cambodia are pretty much in overdrive mode. 3 gone. It's 20 for no loss.
How big a factor is the back-to-back nature of these T20Is going to be? Obviously, Cambodia make their bow in the tournament today, so they're nice and fresh. They're excited. Kuwait heartbreak yesterday. Seriously hot and humid out there, Mikhail.
It's not easy, Andrew. We saw it yesterday as well. Just walking out and taking a stroll as well can be a little bit of a draining factor. Never easy back-to-back games. This is a schedule that could be very tight, compressed, condensed, fairly understandable. And as athletes, you need some muscle recovery time. But got to give it to them.
Well, what a stroke. Lost for words for a moment, Mikhail, because we are seeing an exhibition of stroke play here. Cover drives, square drives like this one here, pull shots. Cambodia, sensational start.
Oh yes, they're not overawed by the occasion, let me tell you this. And they're certainly throwing the challenge up to the opponents. Look at that for a boundary. Stand and deliver. Vimukti and Uday Singh are dishing out a very fine display of stroke making in the middle.
Yeah, just a small thing off camera as well. The man at short fine leg already down on his haunches. Already fatigued in the fourth over of the day. That's moved too far. Will never be given. May well be leg buys. We'll wait for the signal from Ravi is indeed. Going to be leg buys. There's a bit of movement, but there's a lot of inconsistency to start with from Kuwait. And Cambodia, who've come into this game as huge underdogs, have started ever so brightly.
Sometimes the underdog tags really comes in very handy, Andrew. You're playing with absolutely no pressure. You have the license to go out there and surprise and shock your opponents. And you can do it in your own way. When the expectations are less, sometimes the performances are more. Vimukti and Uday looking very good.
It's going to be a leg side wide. I think one of the other brilliances of that decision to grant T20I status is that it's very much allowed the lower ranked associate nations to focus on one format. So Cambodia, the vast majority of the cricket, in fact close to all the cricket they will play, is T20 cricket. They're not in any official 50 over structures yet, so they don't need to worry about the longer game. They can hone their skills on the 120 ball version of the game. And that can be a big advantage. That's how the likes of Kuwait and Qatar and Bahrain have garnered success, a sole focus on that one format. Whereas the other associate nations, your elite associates, your Omans, your UAEs, your Nepals, your Scotlands, your Netherlands, they're focusing on two formats. Some are now thinking about a third. Nepal want to play some red ball cricket, as does Scotland. They're looking for the return of that ICC Intercontinental Cup. So it's very much, it's a benefit, and it kind of levels those playing fields a touch, as does the fact it's a shorter format.
And it just about promotes the sport in newer countries as well, with the T20 format being embraced by newer cricket boards. Oh, he goes over, not really. What a catch. Absolutely brilliant. The timing of the jump needs special mention. This is a very, very good fielding effort.
And it's Parvinder Kumar. It's the change in the team today. They needed a moment of magic, didn't they, Kuwait? All over the place for the first 3.5 overs. The bat just twisted in the hands. And what a catch. The timing of the jump was perfect, as was the roll to make sure the ball doesn't bobble out on impact. An excellent effort. And finally, Kuwait have that first breakthrough. Uday Singh's gone for 10. It's 26 for 1. Ram Sharan in at number 3. Probably see the captain in next at 4, Lugman Butt. As Cambodia have lost their first wicket after that bright start. Too much movement down the leg side.
Well, that's been the problem for Kuwait this morning. Discipline. They've lacked discipline. We'll take a look at that hit. Uday Singh, The bat turned in his hand. Parvinder Kumar got that jump at just the right time, ensured he kept it in control even during the fall, and completed a very good catch. Important wicket. That's the points table.
Okay, just missed that ball there. It's going to be given as a wide again outside the off stump. Such a good start to the morning, hadn't we? Just a little wobble in the fourth over for both the team and indeed Cambodia losing their first. Certainly, we're expecting Kuwait to maybe blitz Cambodia away. No signs of that happening yet.
Yes, they've put up staunch resistance in the middle. Both the openers, Uday Singh, certain will be kicking himself in the dugout for playing that shot. He was looking so good on the off whenever he played it through the carpet. Nevertheless, Ilyas will be happy with that scalp early on.
A lovely way to get off the mark. Just clipped into the leg side. A little stumble in the running between the wickets, but not the cleanest piece of fielding. So it'll be a couple of runs to get number 3 off the mark. It's 30 for 1. So there's the state of play. Cambodia yet to make an entry onto that table. UAE and Oman top of the table with wins, but wins that were very, very firmly pushed throughout the entirety of the chase. In fact, you could make a case really Bahrain and Kuwait probably should have won those contests yesterday.
So close yet so far, the story for them. Spin. Introduced, Yasin Patel will be bowling the 5th. Mohammad Aslam, the captain, is stationed himself at first slip.
You know, in a funny way, this may be the challenge for Cambodia. The pace on the ball, they've played a few shots, they've held their shape nicely, and it's very good batting surfaces, even though there's a tinge of green to today's pitch. Now with the spinners coming on, both inside and outside edge will be challenged. And they've got a couple of very fine left-arm spinners, Yasin Patel and Mohammad Aslam. Very different left-arm spin bowlers, but both very impressive.
Oh, Yasin Patel is a very shrewd operator in the middle. Watch out for the one that comes in straight with their arm. Has often surprised batters and has always bowled in power plays. He's the go-to man for Mohammad Aslam. Nicely bowled. In fact, yesterday as well against UAE, when the batters were going crazy in the middle, he still had a decent economy, conceding around 30 in the 4 overs, 3.3, 29 and 1 wicket for him.
That's nicely played, finds the gap. And it was a packed offside field with real precision. Sharon gets his first boundary. Cambodia very much impressing. And they've got off to a lovely start. Look at this for a stroke, Mikhail, high quality.
Placement, look at that. Certainly Cambodia punching above their weight this morning. Just like the way they're making good use of the field restrictions as well. Very good shot by Ram Sharan.
Yeah, he's a lovely action, doesn't he, Yasin Patel? Look at the drive. If you're a young boy or girl watching on at home on this Saturday morning, look at the drive with his back leg. So that's his left leg. Look at that, drives through. So he's going to get good action on the ball, get a little bit of dip, and be pretty accurate too. End of the 5th over, 35 for 1. Well, that's one of the ways you can get involved with this tournament. Unlock cricket by downloading the ACC app now. Just type Asian Cricket Council into either the Play Store or the iOS Store. Whether you're on Android or you've decided to go to the dark side over to Apple, you can get it downloaded. You can also visit asiancricket.org. Been really good coverage of this tournament, not just in the live broadcasts, but also you can enjoy the action via the social media channels, get involved with all of the ACC's digital platforms. Mohammad Aslam into the attack with his left arm spin. So 2 spinners will operate in tandem now. Fine bowler, fine batter, and a good leader. He is nothing but accurate, Mikhail.
Oh yes, his 4 overs come in very handy. He rushes through them, and he's always amongst wickets. Seen it in recent times when I've been commentating for Kuwait games. Always brings himself early and runs through his quota of 4 overs. That's chipped in the air, improvises, a couple of bounces and a boundary towards the extra cover region. Vimukti is looking good, and so is Cambodia, and they're trying to make full use of this power play.
Well, great credit to the Cambodians. This is not a shot of someone who is only played on artificial pitches back home in Cambodia. Inside out, over extra cover. Yes, he's hitting with the spin, but a lovely free flow of the bat. One of the most difficult shapes to make in the game. And he's affected it really nicely. Even if they don't win today, well, they're going to be full of confidence, aren't they, from their showings thus far?
No, so far they've made a statement, Andrew, and that's everyone's making note of as well. They need to be wary of any kind of a brain freeze moment. Almost an overthrow. Yes, no. You don't want to throw your wicket after such a good start.
And like so often for any side coming up a level for the first time, it won't necessarily be about the shots. It'll be about the game management, the strategic elements of the game. Got off to a lovely start. Can they build upon it? 5 dots in that over. That's not what you want in the power play. They'll still be very, very pleased having won the toss and chosen to bat first. They've got to the end of the power play, and they've only lost the 1 wicket. It's 39 for 1.
Yasin Patel to continue. 5 runs in his first over. Vimukti 16 and 19. Ram Charan has looked good. 6 and 5. Short and wide, put away. There's protection in the deep. They'll only fetch a single, but this has been a very fine exhibition of caution with aggression in the middle by the Cambodian batters. Just the right time to introduce my co-commentator as well, Amin Wagle. Amin, good morning.
Very good morning, and just welcome with that confident-looking shot. And Cambodia has been looking quite confident on their first outing here at the ACC Premier Cup. This 2024 edition, a couple of new entrants in this tournament. And from the looks of it, they've made some strong impressions straight up in the first 6 overs. The batting power play.
Nicely bowled. Oh yes, good point there. Very impressive. Making the right noises.
Yeah, absolutely. The right noises. And what's also important is it's match day 2, and getting points on board is going to be absolutely key for teams like Kuwait, as well as Cambodia. Of course, Cambodia playing their first game, but then Kuwait would really want to have those couple of points up on board and get their tournament started with a win, get some momentum going.
Gives the charge. Oh, that was acrobatic. He was flying in the air. He was airborne, and that would have been the best catch of the tournament so far. Mohammad Aslam is down on the floor, but he's back on his feet now, and what an effort that was. It was travelling, and everyone just gathering around him to applaud that effort. 3 runs coming off this over, 7 gone, it's 42 for 1.
Yeah, just have a look at that once again. It was literally a one-handed effort, flying to his left like a Superman, or like Superman rather, and eventually dropping that catch, but excellent efforts, full points for efforts on this occasion. It's 42 for 1 after 7.
Well, the concern here for Cambodia is you don't want to get that dot ball percentage increasing. It's just about getting into that cocoon of theirs where they're just about getting over defensive.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be key here for Cambodia, and that's to keep the momentum going on, try getting those odd boundaries, punish the bad balls. Just have a look at that again. That was absolutely extraordinary from the skipper, leading from the front, showing his teammates that's how it's done when you're standing up close, trying to maintain pressure.
Single towards long off. This is sensible cricket. You've got to keep rotating the strike.
What I really like about these both Cambodia batters as well as the opening batter who had come out is that they're playing sure cricket. They're not looking out of sorts or out of place on any occasion.
Much better there. Just trying to get that with the arm. Quicker, flatter.
Not looking out of place. Trying to rub shoulders with the big boys here.
Looks to play cross. This could be very close, but Ravi believes it may have been going down leg. Very close call. Very lucky, I reckon.
Yeah, once again, just have a look at that. The ball just darting into the right-handed batter, and would be a hint of doubt here for the umpire, thinking that, of course, that ball might be travelling way towards the leg stump. It's amazing how Mohammad Aslam, after pulling off that brilliant fielding effort, has now brought himself to bowl and carrying out this over in a very quick manner. And this one's been cut well. It's been just gently placed to back of square, and it's going to be a boundary here for Sharan to end the over with. It's a good going here for Cambodia. The boundaries are coming. Trying to dart back one again into the right-hander, and all he had to do was just rock onto the back foot and notice the absence of a fielder behind square. It's a good going here for Cambodia.
Well, yes, a boundary of that last delivery. Certainly helping them. 47 for 1 and 8. Still have 9 wickets in hand. Yasin Patel will continue. So left arm spin from both ends. Vimukti on 21.
Now Yasin Patel's been good. Had a good outing in the previous match against UAE. Managed to keep it tight for most part of his spell. And he's been looking to do the same on this occasion as well.
Gives the charge. Just about manages to get that down to long off. Signs of aggression, but they've just not been able to convert it.
Yeah, well, the fielders have been placed at the right location, so the boundaries will be hard. Soft appeal here from Yasin Patel. The keeper not interested, and so is the umpire. So have a look at that again.
Worked away towards square leg. They'll settle for a single.
So great match yesterday, Kuwait versus UAE, and that was played on Oval 2. And Kuwait was certainly looking great guns, especially the batting clicked during the power plays.
Nicely bowled. That was quicker. Too close to cut. Somehow managed to squeeze that out. Only 2 coming off this over. Another fine over by Yasin Patel. He's conceded only 10 in 3. 9 gone. It's 49 for 1. Well, so far Cambodia have done reasonably well to keep their wickets intact. They're one short of a 50. Both these spinners have just slowed proceedings in the middle. I mean,
Yeah, managing to pull it back, both these two spinners, Yasin Patel as well as Mohammad Aslam. Now, what's going to happen here is that now the absence of boundaries and absence of runs is probably going to put that additional pressure on the two batters out there in the middle. And anybody with the lack of experience of big match tournaments, at the same time of international matches, is all going to go in the same manner, and that's when they're going to start taking some unnecessary risks, unnecessary antics to up the ante.
just about slipped while playing that shot, but ensure that he gets some bat on it. Here's an interesting option for Kuwait as well, to maybe just better their net run rate against an opposition like Cambodia, who are finding their feet quicker towards the leg side. Yes, no, this could be Harakiri in the middle. This could be out as well. That will be referred up, but Kuwait's body language and the batter's body language suggests that Kuwait may have just about got their second wicket. Ram Charan stranded, so was Vimukti. Absolute confusion in the middle. And I don't think so he made it in time.
Yeah, so the person who's done bulk of the scoring just stranded midway. Just have a look at that. Played with soft hands, but then there was never a run there. The Kuwaiti fielder certainly on point at that particular occasion and at that particular location. And all he had to do was hand the ball back to the keeper, who does his duties well. So an untimely wicket here for Cambodia, as it obviously it's going to hurt their proceedings at the moment. Also, in the meantime, there's going to be a little bit of respite for the players. So Vimukti Viraj Radela has been run out by Shahrukh Kudus, and he's hit 4 boundaries on his way to his 22. It's 49 for the loss of 2 wickets.
So at the stroke of drinks break, Cambodia lost their second wicket in the form of Vimukti, and this means that Captain Lugman Butt makes his way to the middle. Nicely driven to get off the mark with a single over there. So he gets to the other end, and Cambodia also bring up their 50 in the 10th over.
Yeah, if this was a couple of overs or maybe even 3 overs earlier, would have been in good time, but then now I guess 50 for 2 at 9.5 at the stroke of the halfway stage. Things not looking good for the team batting out there, Cambodia.
And they don't want another run out. No yes and no, not with your captain at least. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. However, at the halfway stage, 10 overs done, 50 for the loss of 2 wickets, Cambodia at the moment.
well, you as fans as well can associate yourself with all of that which is happening with ACC Cricket. Unlock Cricket, download ACC app now on your Android and iOS phones. And you can also do the same by visiting the www.asiancricket.org website. And you can get a lowdown on everything around Asian cricket and the great work that they've been putting across associate countries and world cricket as well. Yasin to continue into his final over. There again, not much turn, just gets it right into the pads.
Yes, absolutely, and that's been the nature of the surface out here. Fresh wickets at the Oman Cricket Academy. And from the com box, you'd obviously notice that there's a hint or a tinge of green on that surface as well. The wicket's playing out to be a true wicket. The ball coming onto the bat nicely.
Yeah, not much turn we've seen in the last 2 days for the spinners. More tilted towards the batters, Amin.
Yeah, it's been a delight for the batters here, and especially if they know their trade, if they know their skill well, they play the right kind of shots on the right deliveries. Something like that. And it's a shot and a half here from Sharan. He's been hanging around there for quite some time, keeping things a little bit quiet for Cambodia at this point in time, and finally decides that, yes, he's going to take a risk or two here.
And this is very good footwork as well. Sensing not much turn, just tried to get to the pitch of the ball and play it through the line, and it lands right on the rope. That's a very good hit against the run of play. Much needed, however. Just reckon Empire Kalidas maybe referring that for a quick boundary check, whether that went on the bounce or went on the full on the rope. And looks like it was on the full. Cambodia need more of this. They've blown hot, blown cold this morning. It's their first outing, their first game. And fair to say, they've done a decent job of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They've not looked out of sorts, as I'd mentioned earlier. And what's really good is most of the cricketers playing for this Cambodian side, they are true cricketers and they know their skills. They have certain intricacies in their games that they can put out there and showcase to the world that, yes, of course, they've arrived at the big stage and can compete. On the other hand, the third umpire, the TV umpire is having a close look at that one. They would want to have every bit of scoring done in the most clinical manner as possible.
Yeah, you want to put up a good show when you're given an opportunity. That's simple as that. Whether you're a team, an individual, the aim is to give a good account of yourself, raise your hand and grab your opportunity. And that's exactly what Cambodia have done. They've been unafraid to play their shots. They've played some very fine cricketing shots in front of the wicket. Oh, and in all of it, a confirmation, it's a boundary, which means 4 runs will be awarded to Ram Sharan. There again was just about readying himself for another big one.
Yeah, he's certainly learning a thing or two about Yasin Patel. Now, what's going to be the idea for the batters here is to understand that on wickets like these, you would want to plant your front foot forward and play most of the shots off the front foot or standing right there. Going on the back foot is going to be absolutely a death wish. Sweeps this time around. And he's going to get a single only to end the over. So 11 overs gone, 55 for 2, Cambodia. Captain Mohammad Aslam, and he'll be into his last over for the day. Just punched off the back foot, going to be only a single. The fielders out there trying and protecting a boundary that was struck really hard from the right-hander Sharan. Lukman Butt has just walked in courtesy that horrific run out. And he goes for the big shot towards the corner.
And this is very good running. Captain Lukman Butt just about pushing his partner for the second, applying pressure on the fielders. Yes, they have to find a move on from here. They have to look at a sizable score to challenge the opposition and have something to defend as well. Captain Aslam, as always, miserly in his spells. This was short and wide, cut away, another single.
So this is good cricket, yeah. Now Cambodia will be realizing, especially with the captain out there in the center, they'll be realizing that getting a few singles, keep the scoreboard ticking is probably the best way forward. And then more often than not, you would find that one odd poor delivery from the bowlers.
Talk about the poor delivery, and there it comes.
Yeah, but on this occasion, it was not capitalized on. So that's something that Sharan and Lukman Butt will want to correct and will want to get on top of as soon as possible if they have to get to a good score here.
Goes aerial and goes the distance as well. That's a very good shot by Ram Sharan. It was in the slot. All he had to do was just get bat to ball and bring the full extension and the follow through.
Yeah, much confident looking shot here from Ram Sharan. Once again, just clears that front foot, tries to get to the pitch of the ball and make sure he makes good, efficient contact onto the umbrellas. Luckily, there was no cameraman underneath that, but then he's going to get maximum here, something for the cameras here, what Ram Sharan has done at the moment.
There again, good use of the feet. So Ram Sharan is making his intentions very clear. He's going to go for runs. This is turning out to be a very good over so far.
Once again, just rocking onto the back foot, trying and punching it towards the point boundary. It's going to be another single to end the over to Lukman Butt. And Cambodia are on 69 for the loss of 2 wickets after 12.
Well gone, 69 for 2. Yasin Patel and Mohammad Aslam finished their quota of 4 overs apiece. 8 overs for them together. They gave away 39 runs without taking a wicket. Fair to say they kept things very tight, and from here on I feel Cambodia, will just have to go out there and find a way to get to somewhere close to 130, 140.
Yeah, and just as his projected scores showcase here, if they want to do that, that's that 8 run and over mark, which is not a very difficult task in T20 cricket, and that's something that they would want to reach out to. 8 runs and over will get them to 133. Even 10 runs and over is not a very difficult task, especially if they get their shots right. Of late, Ram Sharan in the last couple of overs has taken a particular liking to the inside-out shots. So if he manages to get a few more big hits in that particular region, probably target the deep mid-wicket region and some of the open spaces that are available on the boundaries, you might just end up seeing Cambodia get to a respectable total. 115 from here onwards, by maintaining the run rate that they're going at right now, is not going to be a challenging task for the Kuwaiti batters, who yesterday had an excellent outing against UAE.
Absolutely. Change in bowling. Parvinder Kumar has been introduced. Gets his first game in this tournament.
Very important for the teams to just shuffle or, jiggle a little bit and dig deep into their reserves, because a game nearly every day of the week, all throughout the tournament, and you might find a few tired legs. You might want to keep most of your premier players fresh and raring to go.
It's a well-directed shot delivery. One for the over. Nicely done. Yes, he's come in place of Saeed Munib. Didn't quite find his straps in the last game. Went for a couple of runs as well against UAE.
Yeah, absolutely. That was dug in deep into the pitch. And a good take by the keeper as well. Never an easy task, especially when you have a pacer just charging down the wicket and giving short ones.
Just gave that a wild swing, threw his bat at it. No way close to the pitch of the ball. As you rightly pointed out, Ram Sharan now has decided my way or highway.
Yeah, it's about time. You're 12 overs deep into this game and you might really want to get things going for the team as well. 70 for 2 they find themselves at this moment. A few big hits in this over and the next, and all of a sudden you see the total reaching the 100-run mark. Things will start looking much more easier, much more, the mental state might be a little more calmer. Otherwise you're just playing catch up all throughout the innings.
Good start here for Parvinder. Slow delivery, change of pace. Just played down to third, shot third. Oh, that's a good throw. A direct hit would have had the umpires entrusted.
Will be interesting to see how Lugman Butt responds to the situation. He's the captain of the side. Have a look at that once again. Just well directed towards the third man region, towards Gali. And then, of course, that shot, that shy at stumps was always on by fielder, worth their salt.
Short and wide. Goes aerial. Gets a thickish outside edge. One bounce into the ropes as well. And this is what Ram Sharan is decided. He will go for broke. And that was a very poor delivery.
Responding well here, Lukman, but just flashed his hands hard at that delivery. And as mentioned, yes, it was short and wide, and he knows how to put those away. So if you're Parvinder, you would not want to bowl there again. It's not a very good delivery, especially at this stage of the innings when the batters are itching to go for the big shots. And they'll be really, really happy to take anything that's thrown their way.
Much better this time. Flicked away towards the mid-wicket region. And this is where I feel Cambodia have just lost the trick. They've just not applied pressure in the field by running quickly for that first run. Nevertheless, a good eventful over. 7 coming off it. 13 gone at 76 for 2.
Story so far for the Kuwait bowling. Not much has been spoken about ever since Cambodia started batting, but then I think they've done really well. Shah Quddus is 13 and he's not got any success yet. And then Parvinder Kumar got his first over for the tournament, 7 for no wickets. Ilyas Ahmed is the solitary operator out there who's managed to get some success. 1 for 15 is what his figures read like in those couple of overs that he's got. And of course Mohammad Aslam now for the captain, finishing his quota of 4 overs, 23 for no wickets, as did Yasin Patel. So it's been a change in the bowling attack. Nimish has been introduced into the bowling attack. A very, very peculiar run-up and style of action. Reminds you of somebody, Mikhail?
Oh, quite certainly. No prizes for guessing. I know you're thinking of the same person that I'm thinking about. Nimish Latif, very innocuous with his action. The offie. Goes aerial and looks like it just about bounces before the ropes for a boundary. That's a very good shot. Straightish. Ram Sharan will just launch into anything that's bowled very close and in his arc.
Getting into the groove, Ram Sharan, at this stage of the innings and making sure that he maintains good contact with the ball. Down the wicket is always a good idea. And just like any good player, the delivery after the boundary, he manages to rotate, strike. There was a call for 2, but then they should have gotten that second run as well, and things would have looked so much better in this over.
Lukman but 13 in 11. That's Fuller as well. Straight to the fielder at covers. That was firmly struck and it can hurt. That's Ravija Sanduravan. He cannot hurt his fingers or wrists. He's coming to bat later on as opener for Kuwait. That's one picked up. And that will just about pass the fielder. Overran that Meet Bhavsar. And is just about saying that he was not happy with the bounce. And it suddenly turned direction. Nevertheless, that will go as a 4.
Certainly hit that with a little bit of slice on that delivery. And making sure that once again that ball was struck really, really hard. Meet Bhavsar just losing his footing while trying to make that fielding effort. The ball outfoxes Meet Bhavsar on this occasion. What a beauty of a delivery to end the over, and Nimish will end with a dot ball. 10 runs off this Nimish over, and Cambodia are 86 for the loss of 2 wickets. That's the story so far for Cambodia. Vimukti Viraj Radela, and he was run out on 22 of 30. Uday Singh Hattinger was out just a short while ago. 10 for 12 is what he got, and then since then it's been Ram Roshan Sharan, 29 of 28, doing bulk of the scoring and some big hits from his bat, and so is Lukman Butt trying to get into the act. The captain trying to up the ante for the Cambodian side. End of the 14th over. With the help of 8 extras, it's going to be 86 for 2, and also joining me in the comm box is going to be Andrew.
Very good morning, Amin. Morning, everyone. Well, what a fantastic entry into ACC Premier action.
Parvinder gets welcomed with a wild swing. It's just going to take the outside edge of the bat. It's going to be only a single. Lots to talk about Cambodia, but at the same time, lots to talk about Kuwait as well. They've put up an impressive performance yesterday against UAE. Early jitters for UAE yesterday. With the ball, with the bat, Kuwait have been absolutely exciting to watch. Just plays it down for a single. And we are on match day 2, so how important are the points on this at this stage of the tournament, especially on match day 2 and looking forward in the tournament?
Yeah, hugely important, no doubt. Nice little change of pace, just an off-cutter that time from Parvinder. Just the story of the morning, though, for me has been Cambodia. First time up at this level, very much as though they belong here. I'd be thinking of 140 plus if they can finish with a flourish.
Big shot down the ground. He takes the aerial route. And of course, that ball will just go sailing over the boundary ropes. A little bit of exercise for the umpire, Khalidasa. And he's going to signal 6. So Lukman Butt now getting into the act.
Yeah, right into the slots and dispatched all the way down the ground. Really good stroke. Got a good piece of it. Yes, it was there to be hit, but still needs to be put away. And I think he's done well there. Long off and long on. Both reasonably wide, so good gap straight down the ground. Usually get good reward there. Might just be the start of big finish into the slog overs now. They want 140 if they can get there.
This time just tries to throw in the kitchen sink. Manages to get only a single. Good comeback by Parvinder after going for that 6. But yes, of course, the story has been about Cambodia, about how they're just making their inroads into the big league, trying and rubbing shoulders with some of the big teams who have been playing regular T20I cricket. What's also important to note are the skill sets that they bring to the table. Cambodian players are not newcomers to the game. They still know their game of cricket. Some of them have played good quality cricket back in their home countries. Some of the nationals of the side as well. They've been following cricket and know their game really well, not looking out of sorts at any stage. Big shot once again. It's picked up outside the off stump. It's a skyer, but will be collected neatly by the fielder out at long on. And Parvinder manages to make a breakthrough.
Yeah, really good catch. Very well held, and just as Cambodia looking to get something going. Look at how good a catch this is. He's made good ground across to his left. And excellently held. A little tumble to hold on. Long off does well. Ends what was a good effort from Ram Charan. He's gone for 30, and Cambodia, they lose their third.
Etienne Bukes from Cambodia makes his way out to the center for the very first time in this tournament. Their first match, jersey number 97, and he'll be looking to make a difference straight away, because you're in that stage of the innings where you might want to just go all guns blazing. No time to get your eye in, try to amass as much as possible for the team. The very last delivery of the over for Parvinder, and treats him with a little bit of short stuff here, and Parvinder will concede a wide.
Yeah, too short. This time from Parvinder. Etienne Bukes, the new man in at number 5 from Pretoria in South Africa originally, has lived in Cambodia about the last 9 years. He was in Phnom Penh. And certainly you look at the key for Cambodia towards the end here. The skipper is going to be essential. Their leading run scorer in their very short T20I history. He's played all 19 of their games, including today that they've appeared in. 584 runs coming into today. Good numbers.
Negotiates the last ball of the over well and gets off the mark as well. So 15 done. It's 96 for 3 Cambodia at this stage. Yeah, that's a little bit of data pulled up, and of course Cambodia quiet in the middle overs from over number 5 to over number 10, and but then after that Ram Charan and Lukman, but the moment they've walked in, they managed to put in a few big tall buildings out there. Some good runs, some over 10 runs and over, and managing to reach something of a decent target at this particular stage. And Cambodia will only be looking to continue that all the way towards over number 20. Is that something that should not be a tall ask? 10 runs and over, 8 runs and over from this stage onwards?
You know, it's never easy to get 10 plus runs per over. Particularly for guys who wouldn't play a huge amount of cricket on grass and facing up at big stage, the broadcast cameras coming in. I know they were there for the Challenger Cup too, but you're up a level. You're at a world-class facility here in Muscat. So I think even 130 they wouldn't be overly disappointed with. They've been really good, they've impressed me.
Big shot, just tries to get some sort of elevation onto it, but Yasin Patin will do well at long off, trying and pouching that as securely as possible. And so Kuwait pick up their 4th wicket.
Yeah, massive wicket, really well bowled, out towards the guideline. Lukman Butt, having just lost a wicket, maybe was thinking of that 140 plus. Often you can set your ambitions a little bit too far and it can be very costly indeed. So the 4th wicket goes down now, but is well held by Patel out at long off. A simple catch for him. He does well. Nimish has his 1st wicket. Butt's gone for 24, 97 for 4.
Sharman Godara, the new man in, out there in the center for the very first time in this tournament, and he's going to be up against Nimish Latif, who's quite a wily or a crafty bowler, something that you can't pick off very easily. Lukman Butt did try to tonk him for a big six towards long off, but manages to just hold out in the proceedings. Takes the outside edge. The ball will travel. It's a quick outfield today at the Oman Cricket Academy, and it's a boundary to start with for Shravan. It's a good start.
Yeah, 100 comes up in the 16th over, and I think Cambodia, given the golfing class, will be really pleased with that. It's a good batting surface. It's got good pace in it, despite the tinge of green on top that's holding it together. And it was just edged away, and edged away for 4.
Hit, and I think this is dropped. Nimish just managed to get a little bit of hand onto it. It was struck really, really hard. And what's going to happen here is that Nimish is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. I think he's got one on the funny bone.
I'm not sure why he's holding his elbow. He's dropped it with his hands, unless he landed on his elbow. I don't think we'll have the replay now, but certainly was a sharp chance went down.
Once again, just trying and striking the ball really, really hard, and that's probably going to be something that Shravan Godara might be banking on to collect a few quick runs here. Flighter delivery, does not manage to get a good hold of it, just works it away towards the onside. It's going to be only a single. So end of the over for Cambodia as well as Kuwait. So 16 overs done, 102 for 4, and it's going to be Nimish Latif and Parvinder Kumar who both have added to their tally of wickets here at the Oman Cricket Academy on match day 2, as well as Ilyas Ahmed, who's picked up a wicket up top. The rest of the bowlers just managing to keep things steady in those middle overs, and in process Yasin Patel and Mohammad Aslam have just completed their quarter of 4 overs. So still plenty of options remaining for Mohammad Aslam as far as rotation of bowlers are concerned. Looks like Parvinder Kumar will continue the 17th over. 9 extras on the way to this 102. Full delivery, just digs it out towards a deep mid wicket. It's going to be only a single.
Yeah, 24 deliveries left. 140 certainly still the, I suppose, the pipe dream, if you will, for Cambodia. That could be competitive. It's under par from what we expect, but we saw Nepal yesterday afternoon on a different surface, one that maybe just got a bit tired in the afternoon, struggled to chase down 144. Hanging around in this contest, very impressed.
Once again, tries to swing that towards cow corner. It's just going to be another single. Now what's really important to note here is to get that win, and to get that win with a decent net run rate. The next couple of days could be, you could have games affected by rain, and you would always want to have a couple of points added to your tally. Kuwait yesterday just going down to UAE, and that's something they would want to change, get that win next to their name. Full delivery, it was a tad bit slower, but what a swing here from Shravan Godara. He's certainly looking in some sort of a mood here, getting a maximum.
What a cracking shot this is. It's a slower ball just gone slightly wrong. You can see there, a little off cutter, ends up right into the slot. Bottom hand comes through, bat twists in the hand, but he gets a really good piece of it. Not small boundaries here in the Oman Cricket Academy, about 65 metres that is, over long on. Man out there goes well over his head. Really good strike. Cambodia on track for that 140 plus, with a little flourish at the finish here. They've been really, really good. Certainly, you'd never know it's their first time at this level.
Another Change up delivery. This time it's just creamed towards the cover region. Rocking onto the back foot though. A typical slog, I would say.
He's actually on the front foot, isn't he? But he just plays it really, really well. Clears the front leg, gets it out of the way, and slashes it through the offside. Not a great piece of bowling. 2 into the slot. 1 a slower ball, this time on full pace. And a nice little flourish here, isn't it? Keeper's going to come up to the stumps. I suspect we're going to see some more cutters. Fielders running everywhere. You can see the field really having to change. Got long off out, deep cover out, and then 3 in the deep on the leg side, deep backward square. Got mid wicket and long on as well. Not really sure where the tactic is to bowl. Not sure where he's looking to bowl now.
Once again, just another single towards the onside, so it's good going in this over. Yes, you've got the boundaries, and then now you rotate strike, trying to maximize as much as possible. Etienne as well as Shravan are doing good here. There's some sensible cricket, Cambodia at the moment. You do know that, of course, Shravan has the ability to clear the boundaries, so you might want to face maximum deliveries from here onwards. Let him hog majority of the strike and score a few more maximums. Give yourself the best chances. Backed it in short, a little bit of change of pace as well. Rolls his fingers over, and Etienne plays all over himself. End of the 17th over, it's 115 for the loss of 4 wickets, Cambodia.
Yeah, so this is, for me, probably the group of death. Now, it's not to say there won't be upsets in Group A. Very nearly saw one yesterday with Malaysia going down. But if you just look at recent form, all of UAE, Oman and Kuwait have all finished in the top 4 of either the last ACC Premier Cup or the T20 World Cup Asia qualifier. So all of pedigree of getting towards a semi-final. That's 3 different teams. Bahrain as well, 4. And certainly, you look at the other group, it's really just Nepal that have pressed qualification. I know Hong Kong have got to the Asia Cup the previous 2 editions, but they haven't been in good form in recent times. The pandemic seemed to affect them maybe more than any of the sides. Malaysia unlucky yesterday, and Qatar maybe the little dark horses in that group alongside Saudi Arabia.
Picked it up, big shot towards the deep mid-wicket region, and of course, with the help of the fielder, of course, it's going to be a maximum here. So the tactics going Cambodia's way at the moment, where Shravan is going to be taking majority of the strike, and the responsibility lies on his able shoulders to clear the ropes.
Well, an excellent effort out at deep mid-wicket, really was. I think it's Bilal Tahir out there. Gets one hand on it, probably wasn't trying to affect the dismissal, just trying to save the 6. But it burst through his hands, and it's another maximum. Good stuff now from both books combining really effectively.
Nimish Latif under pressure after that maximum. And of course, now both these 2 batters are going to be throwing their bat at every single delivery that Nimish is going to be dishing out to them. He's looking more often than not to just provide them with half trackers, and at some point in time in the slot. Not much pace on the ball as well. Once again, just cracked it in front of the wicket, so it's going to be only a single though to end.
Yeah, still a couple of deliveries, in fact just the 1 delivery left in this 18th over. He's going to get away with that. Really strange to see the off spinner given another. Could have been very costly, but it's only gone for 9 in the end. Both openers still have 2 overs left. 18 bowled now, 124 for 4.
Shark Kudus has a couple of overs left. Ilyas Ahmed has a couple of overs left. And probably it's going to be the pace bowlers who are going to be doing most of the bowling from here onwards. Ilyas Ahmed has been handed over the ball because Parvinder Kumar and Nimish Latif have not done their duties well. Both of them have gone over 8 runs and over. Parvinder Kumar, as a matter of fact, 10 runs and over. Yes, they've managed to pull back with a few wickets here and there. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a mammoth task here to now curtail Cambodia from a good pass score. Big shot down the ground. Tries to clear his front leg. The ball landing just short of long on this occasion. It's going to be only a single, but what this is going to do is get Etienne on strike, and he had cracked that massive 6 towards deep mid wicket in the previous over of Nimish Latif. Just have a look at that once again. Skyer not getting a good hold of that. Slower delivery, worked away towards the onside. It's still the preferred option is to clear that front leg. A run-out chance, but not collected cleanly.
Yeah, comfortably on. Really good running this time. Split the 2 men in the deep backward square, and deep mid-wicket. There's probably 20, 25 yards between them. And as a consequence, they're always going to get home for 2. Really impressed with the way Cambodia have gone about their business here. Easily could have been overawed on the big stage. The skipper, no hesitation, deciding to bat first. And they've gone pretty well.
Cracked down the ground, and of course it's going to beat the fielder. Another boundary here. So Cambodia are doing really well and trying to maximize whatever opportunities they're getting at the moment, whether it be through Etienne Bukes or it's going to be through Shravan Godara. Slightly in the air, but it's always a safe option whenever there's no fielder in the vicinity. So still managing to keep up that 8 runs and over after the 15th over. Drills it down ground. Another single. Will be comfortably, or it would be safe to say they might be looking at that 150 mark from here onwards now, and that's going to be a par score, especially because Cambodia really relies on their bowling at this point in time. They really want to back their bowlers and defend some sort of a total. 150 would be a decent target for that. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, certainly hopes of 150. It'd be a real flying finish to get there, but even 140, 145, it's under par for me. I think this is a very good batting surface, good pace in it. I don't think Kuwait will be too troubled in terms of hunting this total down, but that's not really the story here. The story is Cambodia punching miles above their weight. 6 batters, all of them have got to double figures. Nice cameos here from Bukes and Gadara. Really good contributions.
Soft appeal, but umpire not interested. Will end the over in an uneventful manner. So 19 gone, the penultimate over, going for as many as 8 runs. It's 132 for the loss of 4 wickets, Cambodia.
So there's a look at the other ground, and there is plenty of action over there. Mohammed Wasim and the player of the tournament thus far, Alassane Sharif, who at it again. They've put on a remarkable 140 for the first wicket in just 12 overs, and now Asif Khan has already hit 4 sixes in 13 balls. Back live here with you now. This is going to be picked up into the leg side, gets a good piece of it, going to get 6. So the 6 is flowing at both grounds. And it's Bukes again, really well struck. UAE flying, they're 177 with 5 overs to go. on Oval Academy 2. And here, Cambodia might just be able to sneak past the 150 mark. Great shot. Bottom hand comes in right into the slot. Only missed the Yorker by a matter of inches. And he gets his second maximum.
Yeah, certainly inching towards that 145, 150 run mark here. Shahrukh Quddus will have to learn quickly, but this time around, Bukes has just holed out towards the fielder at square leg. And he's going to get a little bit of success in that wickets column as well. So long walk back for Bukes, but then he's done well. He's managed to up the ante. He's managed to collect quite a few handful and useful runs for Cambodia, straight into the hands of Mohammad Aslam, the skipper of the Kuwaiti side. A 4 and a couple of maximums in this over. 23 runs from 12 deliveries. Etienne Bukes makes his way back to the hut. Asanka Charles walks in after that dismissal of Bukes, and at the moment he's just got one thing mentioned at the top of his KPI, and that's to go for the big shots. Swings, and the keeper tries to get a shy at the stumps. Caught Asanka Charles wandering outside the crease after missing that delivery.
Yeah, one of the two keeping options in the team. I think it'll actually be the opener though, Uday, who'll take the gloves today. Big swing and a miss. Would love another couple of boundaries. 3 chances left.
Crashes that down the ground. There is some protection out there in the deep, so it's only going to be a single, and that's probably the smartest thing to do, because Shravan Godara has been in red hot form at the moment, and he's been striking the ball well on most occasions. Just have a look at that. Playing a shot down the ground against Shahrukh Quddus. Big shot here, this time towards the offside. There is no fielder out there, but a little bit of soft patch, making sure that the ball does not carry over the boundary ropes. A couple of runs to Shravan Godara, and they'll take that gladly.
It's actually a T20I debut today for Asanka Charles Dunn. 42 years young and making his debut for his country. Wasn't involved in any of the action in the Challenger Cup that got Cambodia here. Here comes the last ball of the first innings.
Yeah, swing and a miss, and this is just going to be an anticlimactic finish for Cambodia. You would want to probably maximize, get even that one single run on the very last delivery of the innings. Nevertheless, I think they've done something out of the ordinary. 141 for the loss of 5 wickets at the end of 20 overs is what Cambodia end with. And this has been a fine performance by the batters. Certainly not in shambles, but then the top 6 batters, as you rightly mentioned, of course, have got into double figures, and they've all struck the ball at a decent strike rate as well. 22 of 30, Vimukti Viraj Radela, the opener, walking back courtesy of run out. Uday Singh Hatin just scored 10 of 12 only. Ram Roshan Sharan, I think, was pretty aggressive, 30 of 30. Lukman Butt managed to up the ante, 24 of 18 deliveries. Etienne Bukes and Shravan Godara managed to provide a little bit of fireworks or pyrotechnics towards the end of the innings. All in all, of course, resulting in 141 for the loss of 5 wickets at the end of 20 overs, Cambodia. That's the efforts in that bowling scorecard. Shahrukh Quddus, 3 overs, 1 for 22. Ilyas Ahmed ended his 3 overs, 1 for 23. Yasin and Mohammad Aslam, the captain, completed their quota of 4 overs. No success, but they were critical in those middle overs, trying and, restricting the Cambodia batters to a paltry. Did not score much in those middle overs. Parvinder Kumar and Nimish Latif probably did not do that well. Both of them going for plenty 3 overs 30, 1 for 30, and 3 overs 1 for 25. Nimish Latif. 9 extras were conceded in that effort. 141 for 5 at the end of the day for Cambodia. Right then, so that's what things started like. A few flashy shots right up top of the innings, leading to a few boundaries. Never did Cambodia, the opening batters, look really out of sorts. Some good shots coming square of the wicket, in front of the wicket, even a few good looking shots in the covers, but then finally trying to go for a few extra shots, trying to clear the infield, and Parvinder picks up a stunning catch on that occasion. Outworks, of course, the next few batters, especially Ramcharan, who looked in fine form, and it just looked as if he knew what had to be done. A freak run out saw the better of Utkarsh Jain, but then a few big hits down the ground by Ramcharan and Lukman Butt too, joining into the act, made sure that Cambodia were never looking out of sorts. All throughout the innings, the big shots kept flowing, especially towards the end of the innings when Nimish Latif and Parvinder were introduced into the attack. The tail-enders, Godara as well as Etienne Bukes, were looking in fine form. The slog shots were well hit. They were connecting majority of the deliveries that were in the slot. However, finally, a couple of wickets in the end. Lukman Butt too holding out there in the deep. Parvinder then getting a little bit of treatment for some of the poor deliveries that he dished out to the batters. Etienne Bukes getting a maximum, courtesy a little bit of assistance from the fielder out there in the deep. And then there was Ramcharan as well as Godara, who finished things off for Cambodia. At the end of the day, it's going to be 142 runs from 122 balls. That's going to be required for Kuwait. The required run rate, of course, 7.1, and it should be an easy task if Kuwait get off to a flying start on this occasion. Match number 5 will go take a break, and on the other side of the break, of course, it's going to be the run chase. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to wonderful Oman. We're here and at the Oman Cricket Academy, the Al Emirat Cricket Grounds, about 20 minutes from the capital city of Muscat. We're here on game day number 2. It's match 5 here in Group B. Kuwait taking on Cambodia. Cambodia making their entry into this tournament and acquitting themselves very, very well indeed, posting 141 from their 20 overs, having won the toss and decided to have a bat first. They were really good throughout their maiden appearance at this level, and it means Kuwait will have to bat well to chase down this total of 142. Going to be one of the stars of the show from yesterday, an 18-ball 50 for this man, Clinto Anto, to get things going for Kuwait. And Cambodia will have to bowl and field very well. He said fielding was their strength. They've got some good spin options, 3 different spinners to choose from. Left arm off breaks of Ukhtar. We'll see Roshan, the right arm off spinner, and Monty, the right arm leg spinner. And then a couple of quicks to go with it. It'll be one of the class acts of the Kuwaiti batting lineup they'll have to bowl to, though. Vijay Sandarawan, who's got all that first class experience in Sri Lanka. He's been a rock at the top in recent times for Kuwait, alongside Clinto Anto, who's at the non-strikers end. We saw a really entertaining first innings. They haven't even finished across on the second pitch, where we've got 2 games in action as the UAE are smashing the ball everywhere. There's been lost balls aplenty. Asif Khan has just been dismissed for 66 off 27. They've already got 234 on the board over there. It's going to be very difficult for Bahrain to chase that down, you'd expect, as Sharwin Gadara will take the new ball. Andrew Leonard here alongside Amin Vagley. Amin, very good morning to you. Still is the morning just. They're still going over on pitch 2. And we're all set for the second innings here. Do you expect Kuwait to chase this total down?
Yeah, very good morning, Andrew. And of course, yes, it's going to be still quite a chase that Kuwait would have to do. 142 will have to be achieved, whether it be against Cambodia, whether it be against any side. As a matter of fact, worth their salt. Shawan Godara just fresh off a decent knock towards the wee end of this Cambodia batting innings. Kuwait on the other hand, and they'll be quite confident coming off from that last game against UAE, where both these 2 batters, Ravija as well as Clinton, had gotten off to a flying start. They were playing the attacking shots, making use of the power play to the fullest.
So we're all set for the second inning. Starts just wide outside the off stump, gets away with it. Really interesting field and play. See, describe as a split field, 5-4 offside. There's a gully in place catching, and then a man at a very straight deep third, backward point cover Mid-off, and then on the onside there's a mid-on. Catching man at mid-wicket, man around the corner on the 45, and the second fielder allowed outside the circle in these first 6. He's out at a deep backward square leg. Looks like he gets a nice shape away from the right-hander. That's right on the money, really good start.
Yeah, shape he does, and of course it's those conditions that are on offer, slightly overcast conditions. The wind's picking up quite a little bit, and it's blowing from left to right as far as the commentary box or the Oman tail end is concerned. Out here at Oval number 1 in the Oman Cricket Academy, and Shravan has a thing or two to prove here to viewers, the many viewers of this ACC Men's Premier Cup Oman 2024. Starting on the right foot here, Shravan Godara. He's bowling with decent pace, he's bowling with decent zing as well.
Certainly for Cambodia, you'll think that they're going to scrap for their lives out there. Every single run is going to be fought for. Nothing to lose at all in all 4 of these group games.
A thing or two to learn from whatever experience that they've had so far, and that's one thing that's going to be at the back of their minds, is that 141 is still good runs on board. Getting 142, and if you back your bowlers well enough with some good fielding, with some extraordinary attempts.
That's going to be 5. He just gets it completely wrong, doesn't he? It's a slightly slingy action, so he's looking to shape it away. This time the wrist gets behind the left of the ball, forces it down the leg side. Well, the keeper has absolutely no chance. 5 freebies to get things underway for Kuwait.
Yep, it's the first boundary, but then it's going to be in the form of free runs here. Really far away from the keeper on this occasion. Uday Singh Hattinger, the keeper for Cambodia in this particular match. So after a very good start by Shravan Godara, the first 3 deliveries where he managed to trouble the batters, not giving them much room for free runs. Just a loose. Now what a delivery that is. A pump ball. Surprised Ravija completely. Gets a little bit of bat onto it, and he'll be more than happy to now see the rest of the over from the non-strikers' ends. Off the mark, Ravija. Digs it in short. He's trying to bowl within the wickets. He'll have to just try and do something more here with the ball. Shravan Godara, try and induce a few chances, put the batters in uncomfortable situations in order to get a few results.
That's beautifully steered away. Just a controlled shot. Was right into the block hole. Not too much wrong with the delivery. I'm not too sure about this field. You tend to see deep third be a lot squarer than he is. He's too fine for my money, particularly for an away swing bowler. That's a lovely way to start for Anto.
Yeah, absolutely. Steer is probably the right word. Deftly guided as well, and he makes sure that Kuwait is off nice and steady with the help of those a few extras, a single and this particular boundary. Last ball of the over coming up.
Chance man out there. Oh, so nearly carried to him. He's ended up kind of getting there on the half volley. It's Anish Prasad. You can't affect the catch. End of the first. So nearly the first wicket. This hasn't come out of the screws. Just didn't quite get there. It's 11 for none. Well, look at that over there. 236 Bahrain are going to require. That's the big screen over on the other ground. Nicely picked up into the leg side. His protection out there, but can't cut it off. He's been in action already, Anish Prasad. And it's a flying start for Clinto Anto, picking up where he left off from yesterday. Immediately, the new bowler, Gula Matatsa, smashed away for 4.
Yeah, probably a lot more to be desired as far as fielding efforts are concerned from Cambodia. Just picked it up nicely off his pads, makes sure that he gets the elevation right, and he'll take those boundaries. He'll take those 4 runs comfortably. A little bit of heavy wind here now blowing across the ground from the Oman Cricket Academy towards the Combox, and Clinto Anto now very much into the act. 9 of 3 deliveries only, so he's finding the boundaries more often than not, and he'll probably look to get a few more. Gulam Murtaza Chuktai, and he'll have to reload that once again.
Yeah, the wind is just starting to wreak havoc. It's picked up from nowhere. In fact, it's buffeting many of the marquees that surround the ground. Our camera team will have a job just to cling on up there in the gantries too. Really has picked up very strongly. Saw this yesterday afternoon, not yesterday morning. Again, good movement. Is there an under edge? There's not. Cambodia wanted the first wicket instead. The umpire from Malaysia, Kali Das, will extend his arms. It's given us a wide.
Yeah, interesting bit of bowling here, and probably too close to call, but then umpire Kalidas just realizing that yes, of course, he has to just provide a little bit of impetus for the batters as well, a little bit of leniency, because that was way wide, really away from the bat, playing away from his bat. Clinto Anto trying to take a swing at everything. Big shot down the ground, it's aerial, and he's probably cleared the infield. It's going to be only a couple of runs, but certainly intentions very, very clear from Clinto Anto, and he's going to go all guns blazing.
Yeah, just 18 balls yesterday to get to that landmark of 50. It's very hit or miss at the top. It's a new role. He's batted all over the place. In fact, through the years, the 29-year-old. It's his first ever 50 yesterday. But it builds on a few good efforts in Kuala Lumpur in that pentangular series. He's been batting with such beautiful fluency. Look at that free flow of the bat. Not going to quite get to the rope. I think it's a rather shocking piece of running. You're not going to believe this. They've only run a single.
Yeah, certainly want more, or probably he's just tired that the ball is not clearing the fence on those couple of previous couple of occasions. And what Clinto Anto would really want to do is give Ravija a little bit of the strike as well, because it's very important to work in pairs out here at the Oman Cricket Academy, especially if the runs are not coming by in terms of boundaries, if it's a little bit of a sluggish outfield. On the other hand, the Cambodia bowlers, Gulam Murtaza as well as Godara, they will have to adjust a little bit to on their line and lengths, try and get into the act as soon as possible.
You suspect that Anto, he's batted everywhere, all the way down to number 9 at some points in the order. He wants to make this opening slot his own. And certainly has gone about it the right way yesterday. 18 ball 50, he ended up with 54, just the 3rd time he's opened the innings yesterday for Kuwait. Spent a lot of time at number 3 too. Career strike rate 130. Decent numbers, definitely a lot of potential for him. He'll be looking to cash in today against the lower ranked opposition.
Comes in with the reputation of a good hard-hitting batter, and I was there at the game yesterday calling the game, and then most certainly he did look to be really, really aggressive, not too shy to take on the bowlers, and UAE have quite a few good ones at that.
Well, a gorgeous pickup shot. Anto, well, he's simply awesome so far. It's going to go all the way. What a shot. A length delivery, swings through the line, shows how good a batting surface it is. He gets 6.
in an otherwise quiet commentary box where the sound is insulated. The only thing I could hear was that loud crack of the blade of Clinto Anto. What a good pickup shot that is. Sailing over the ropes comfortably, and it was a sight for all to watch that. Onto the roof of the pavilion. So that's probably making some sort of a statement here. Clinto Anto in this tournament. And probably he's arrived. One more ball in this over. One more legal delivery in this over.
It's going to be 4 more. A little bit too easy right now for Anto. No changes of pace, just the same length again and again. Runs from every delivery in that over. 19 come from it. Kuwait up and running with a bang. 30 for none.
Yeah, once again in the slot. And of course he had the pace to work with as well. Good flow of the bat, and Clinto Anto is never going to miss that. Clears his front leg and he'll always get that elevation over the fielders. So good tactics here by Clinto Anto. 7 deliveries for his 22 at the moment. So the current run rate 15 runs and over, with Kuwait certainly looking in the driving seat at the moment.
Clipped away. Going to be 4 more. Well, Kuwait's are off to the flying start that we felt they might get. Such a good batting surface here. They pulled together beautifully. And the lines just a little bit off. The length's a touch too full. 4 from the moment it left the bats.
Yeah, absolutely. Now what happens here is Shravan Godara, the first 3 deliveries of the innings, he's certainly produced a little bit of shape, a little bit of zing in his bowling, and it was looking quite tricky to deal with, but then after that he's been just ordinary. That wayward delivery down the leg side, fetching 4 wides, and then after that it's just been downhill. Starting this over as well. Now Ravija gets into the act.
There's good pace in the wicket, there's good bounce, there's certainly been plenty of carry. There's a big gulf between these sides. For Cambodia, it's a learning experience here in Oman. Gets better opposition, more experienced opposition, some full-time professional opposition, the likes of UAE and Oman and Nepal.
You're never too late to learn a few tricks in the trade, and especially match experience is something that only works wonders. The more you get, the more better you progress.
In the air, but wide of backward point. It was definitely at a catchable height. Again, that hole being exposed. Deep third is in completely the wrong position for an away swing bowler. Could have been a wicket, should have been a single. Instead it's 4 more.
Yeah, Ravija certainly taking his chances, slashes hard, tries to go somewhere down the ground, but then it takes the outside edge. A little bit lucky there, and with an uninterested fielder at that position, and as you rightly mentioned, at the wrong position, exposing that gap. He's always going to get runs. Backward point now, and of course that fielder at the catching position in gully.
This is an extraordinary stroke. I think he's looked to ramp this over his shoulder, get it around the corner with fine leg up in the circle, and at the last second he's tried to adjust.
Yeah, well, I'm amazed you're still trying to find some logic in the directions as to where he was trying to aim at. For me, it just looked like hitting anywhere around the park. Could be behind the stumps, it could be in front of the stumps, who knows. He was all over the place. Nevertheless, he's looking good. Couple of boundaries.
Yeah, so we've just seen a couple of inconsistencies. First time the 5 wides in that first over, the wrist getting behind the left-hand side of the ball. This time just far too round arm. Does it yard of pace? Certainly something to work with. Just the consistency needs to be improved for both of the Cambodian openers.
They'll certainly learn with time. Being part of such big tournaments and facing quality sides, Kuwait, as a matter of fact, one of the sides that have even troubled the likes of UAE, Oman.
Good stop this time at mid-off, very nicely done. Yeah, real learning experience, huge gulf in class and experience. They've only played 19 T20 internationals in their history, and they played those all in in just about 12 months. Made their first ever bow in the T20I game in 2023. And what a sharp rise it's been. Godara, their joint leading wicket taker. See Lukman Butt as well, he's got 16 wickets to his name. I expect the spinners to come into the game probably sooner rather than later. It's a big wide, in fact, being honest, that could well be a no ball. I think that's pitched off the surface. It's going to be given as 5 wides. I'd like another look at that. I don't think that's pitched on the playing surface.
Yeah, horrific start here for Shravan. Let's still have another close look as that. He's still trying to find his groove out here. Umpires will be wanting to have a close look at where that ball has pitched. However, on this occasion, umpire has just signalled wides here. So a lot of free extra runs conceded by Shravan Godara ever since ball number 1.
Goes to the short ball, but it's dealt with ever so well. A bit of pace on the ball, travels 50, comes up inside 3 overs. Brilliant batting. Anto on fire in Muscat. It's 50 for none.
Yeah, of course, Ravija on this occasion just picking that ball nicely and very cleanly. It did look that he was not in control of the ball, but then in the previous match against UAE, he certainly played a similar looking shot. So it's something that he's been wanting to do, and something that kind of a shot that he always looks to play towards the leg side. Tall light blue buildings, and they're probably located in the Kuwait column out here. The first 3 overs here going for plenty of runs, 15, 20, and then of course that 12 run over to start off with of Shravan Godara. 92 runs needed of 102 balls. So all that impressive work done by the batters of Cambodia. Now suddenly looking a very, very achievable target. Captain Lukman Butt introduces himself into the attack. He'll want to keep it neat and tidy.
Yeah, it was indeed Sandrowan who's picked that one up for 6. Anto and Sandrowan started nicely. Anto taking the aggressive role. So some medium pace from Lukman Butt, the captain. Very much important, his all-round skills. Leading run scorer, 3rd leading wicket taker in Cambodia's history. No sign of spin just yet. Big appeal, and up goes the finger. The change of bowling's going to work. Maybe just flirting with the leg stump, but the umpire felt it was straight enough. Khalid Das, he gets the finger up. Cambodia strike, they have their first wicket.
Yeah, Lukman Butt striking in his very first over, and certainly a very, very good shot. He was confident that he's probably going to get a thing or two for his side. Pulling things back a little bit. Anto walking back into the hunt for a well-made 22 of just 9 deliveries, a maximum, and 3 boundaries in that innings of his. That's 50 for the loss of 1 wicket. Out walks Meet Bowser after that wicket of Clinto Anto, and of course Captain Lukman Butt pulling things back for his side, leading from the front, showing a thing or two that bowling the right areas will always fetch you results, especially on a surface like this. There's good carry, there's good bounce. With that greenish tinge on that surface, you would always find a little bit of deviation from this deck as well. Generating pace off the deck can also be a trick of the trade that you would want to employ on surfaces like this. At the moment, it's a left-hander, Meet Bowser, who played a very, very laborious innings in the previous game against UAE.
Yeah, Just allow Cambodia to get settled into this contest and maybe find their way. Challenges aren't going to get any easier for Cambodia. In fact, if we go, well, purely on the rankings, I suppose Kuwait and Bahrain so closely matched, a similar challenge, but then UAE and Oman, two very tough affairs. It's the LBW, more than fair enough. Going to smash into leg stump that. Back live with you now. A beautiful straight drive. Full face of the bat shown. An elegant stroke for 4.
Yeah, there's something about elegance and left-handers, and Meet Bowser certainly making a statement on the very second delivery that he's faced off Lukman Butt into the slot, and of course all he had to do was just meet the ball with the bat. Played it on the front foot, and that's a good looking shot. Drives it down the ground. I don't think that there's a better way of getting off the mark.
Still very young, isn't he, Meet Bowser? Great to see some youth come through Kuwait's system. 25 off 22 yesterday. They just struggled for momentum out of that power play that was driven by Clinto Anto. Such a good position. 83 for 1 in the 9th over, and in 78 they just tailed away in the last 7 or 8 overs.
Yeah, just putting on some runs on board for Kuwait on that occasion, and especially when on the other end you have somebody like Clinto Anto who was going all guns blazing, going for the big shots, taking the riskier options. It only made sense that he just stuck out there. Meet Bowser on the other hand, just coming through the ranks.
This is a beauty. Really good first over from the skipper. Good change of bowling. Beats Ravija Sandarawan through to the keeper. End of the 4th, 55 for 1. First change to spin bowling today. We're going to see for Cambodia with Ram Roshan Sharan to come on bowl from the media centre end of the ground. We'll see probably the main reason he's been brought in is because of the left-hander being on strike. So we'll see some off breaks. Very interesting action. Starts down the leg side, real freebie. Swept away, poor old Mikhail Viswami has nearly worn one. I think that's him there, is it? Or it's one of our commentary colleagues doing something down there. They've nearly been hitting the back. Take 2 needed down there.
Yeah, certainly need to be watchful there, especially when you've got Meet Bowser facing a slower bowler. I believe he was in the midst of a little bit of social media commitment.
Oh, that's really good batting. First one to the leg side, second one through the offside. Still in the power play, only 2 fielders allowed out. Lovely square drive, 4 more.
If that sweep shot was not enough for that camera work, but then most certainly the square cut was. He's got that ball onto the blade really nicely, and it's always going to be a very, very photogenic sight whenever Meet Bowser goes for boundaries. Coming through the ranks of under-19s of Kuwait, Meet Bowser played plenty of cricket for the national side, and it's always going to be some good runs under the belt, some confidence. A bit of shuffle. It's going to be only a quick single, and this is good cricket here from Meet Bowser. A couple of boundaries, and then you rotate strike. The scoreboard needs to keep ticking.
Challenge now for the off spinner, bowling to the right hander. 2 fielders in the deep, obviously will both be on the leg side. Long on, and deep square, right? Got to come around the wicket, just try close off the angles. Generally, you'll get this from spinners in the power play. They won't be looking to turn the ball a huge amount. Just use that angle, get it across, beat the outside edge.
He's coming around the wicket, and it's going to be interesting if he manages to just try and target that ball across the right hand, keep it away from the bat, and that would be something interesting. That's a good delivery. At the moment, he's managing to generate some bit of deviation from the deck. Wonder if there's some purchase available for the slower bowlers.
So going to be 10 from Sharan's first over. Kuwait are doing this in some style. And they'll certainly be somewhat mindful of net run rate as well. 5 have been bowled at 65 for 1.
Just a heads up, if you want to keep abreast with all that exciting cricketing action happening all around Asia, Unlock Cricket is what you need to do, and download the ACC app now. It's on multiple platforms. You've got it on iOS, you've got it on Android. You can also log into www.asiancricket.org and get a little bit of big screen action as well. Get all your facts, figures about the happenings of the tournaments all across Asia.
Started nicely, isn't he? But there's a nice shape to his bowling. Right arm away swing. Come via Pakistan to live, qualify like many of these players via residency for Cambodia. 4 locals in the 14-man squad as well. Looking forward to seeing the likes of Phan Bin Then and Tay Sen Long. That's a nice pickup shot. It's going to go all the way. Just comes across, and he's going to get maximum reward. 6 more.
Yeah, once again, I think this is a shot that Ravija practices way too often in the nets, and as well as he backs himself to get maximums of this particular shot. Have a look at that, way too short, and he manages to get in position, get into that comfort zone of his, and hits that big shot over the fence. So 6 runs here for Ravija, also looking to get into the act. 23 runs of 17 deliveries right now, his effort and contribution to the score.
Oh, beauty. It's going to read 4 in the scorebook, but he's done them all ends up here. No slip in place. Probably would have been a second slip area it went through. Beautifully bowled, but the runs keep flowing for Kuwait.
Yeah, good bowling from Lukman. He's been probably the pick of the bowlers as far as what we've seen until now of Cambodia. Just beaten all ends up, takes the outside edge. However, no fielder to protect, no fielder to stop those runs. 10 runs already of this over, so keeping that run rate nice and healthy. They'll want to make this a quick one. Kuwait.
Really good lengths from Lukman Butt, and the fielding's been on the whole okay. I know they're going around the park, but certainly something they pride themselves on. Not going to get any easier for Cambodia throughout this tournament, but certainly plenty of highlights in that first innings to remember already. Problem is just not enough runs on the board and a very good batting surface.
You're looking for Anish Prasad, aren't you? That very first over, there was a big skyer, and Anish Prasad just not putting in his 100%. It's lush green lawns out here at the Oman Cricket Academy. You'd always want to throw yourself around the park. Go for those risky dives as well.
Nearly gets him to chop on. That shape back into the left-hander, causing problems. Really, really nice action. Good shape and no shortage of skill from Cambodia's skipper.
Yeah, certainly the pick of the bowlers for me as far as Cambodia is concerned. He's bowling the right lengths, he's bowling the right areas, not too shy of pitching the ball up, but then once again, just like the opening bowler Godara, he too has a little bit of zing onto that surface.
Another inside edge. Oh well, but could have had 2 or 3 in this over. It's been really impressive. But that will end the power play. It's been all Kuwait. They are well past the halfway stage of this chase in terms of runs required. They should do it in a canter. 6 bowled, 77 for 1. Okay, here we go. Out of the power play, 65 more required. And for Kuwait, they're doing it handily. Welcome back, Mikhail Vaswamy, to join me to take on a quickly run second. Plenty of moments to cheer for Cambodia, but Kuwait are really putting them to the sword now in a very good batting pitch.
Oh yes, and you sense that the net run rate is playing at the back of their mind after what happened yesterday with UAE. They just want to get here quickly, so that when it boils down to the net run rate, they'll have those numbers in their favor. Ravija, as always, likes to take the attack to the opposition and looks of superior batting side at the stage. Another quick single. They've done it in quick time. 80 runs in almost 7 overs, or should I say 6. They require 62 in 82 with 9 wickets in hand. It's been a very dominant batting effort. Fearless approach. Meet another very fine, elegant left-handed batter. And the decimator, Ravija Sanduravan. He enjoys in the power play. Goes for the reverse. Does not beat the fielder at backward point.
You get a sense that for Kuwait, they've identified, well, it's not just 2 points we need, is it? We need to consider net run rate. If you see what UAE are doing across in the second ground, I saw you out there, Mikhail. Peel, but no interest from S. Ravi. In some ways, they might quite like UAE to win out. Take one of the 2 qualification spots. If they win all 4, that opens up a few avenues for either Kuwait or Bahrain, or indeed the host Oman, who'll be the favoured.
Look at that. He's got stuck underneath that one. Goes down on his knee and hits it over long on as well. Ravija Sanduravan can do this all day once he's in his zone.
And then the problem is, if that's the case, if UAE do win out and win 4 from 4, that's going to mean that the games against Cambodia, they could turn a little bit into the whipping boys of the group, because it won't be just wins that the opposition are looking for against them, but it will be big, massive net run rate boosting wins. And that's the way that Kuwait have approached this chase. Credit to them. Really good, aggressive batting.
Nicely bowled. Good over this for Kuwait. They get 9 runs out of it. 7 gone. It's 86 for 1.
It's the state of play at the moment, Mikhail. Certainly Kuwait are going to get this done, you'd imagine, in pretty quick time. I think you and I have been quietly impressed by Cambodia, though. They've shown plenty, haven't they?
Oh yeah, the elevation is something that they've really embraced and they want to make it count. Top 6 batters got into double figures. That's a very encouraging sign. Yes, they could not go beyond 20s and 30s. That's something they'll want to correct. But for match number 1, should I say, they've still put up a very spirited batting effort, shown a lot of conviction in their stroke making. All of this really highlights that they're ready to put in the hard yards and compete at this level, Andrew.
I think one of the big things at this level is sides have to come up through the rankings. I've seen it in Africa qualifiers and America qualifiers. Most of the developing nations, the weaker suit they'll have is their batting, and that's understandable.
Poor bowling here down the leg side, fine up in the circle. He's just about jogging to get there, and they'll get 2 runs as well. Very good running by Meet Bowser. That was Selwyn Stanley, the new bowler who's been drafted into the bowling attack now.
Yeah, just a little surprise for me. We haven't seen the left arm spinner yet. We saw him bowl in the warm up. He looked the most accurate, the most consistent of their bowlers. That's Ukhtar. I thought that he would have come into the attack maybe for the 7th over.
Taken on the full, and that'll just about keep the fielder busy at third. Does well enough to just bring it back. 2 more runs.
Yeah, that's Van Buntien, one of the local players. Great to see them come through the system. I've been to Cambodia, been there a couple of times. My brother used to live there actually, in Phnom Penh, lived there for 5 or 6 years. Beautiful city.
Andrew, which part of the world you've not been to? I need to know that.
We'll have a boundary check. He's well inside the rope here. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But one thing that struck me in a big way in Cambodia, obviously a tragic history, and then a country that's rebuilt in a big way. Some of the kindest people you'll meet. Really, the land of smiles, a little bit like Thailand, one of the neighbouring countries. Everywhere you go, you get a great welcome. Excellent food, beautiful beaches as you go down towards Sihanoukville as well. The capital city is busy, I'll tell you that much. Phnom Penh, you get motorbikes and energy, and there's great nightlife too. It's a really big, bustling city.
Quite a traveller there. Andrew Leonard giving us a peek into how Cambodian life is. And in all of it, there are some fine cricketers as well, dishing out very competitive cricket. Much better delivery here by Salvin Stanley. He needs to come back. He's conceded a wide, a couple of runs.
And then for those into their tourism, you get up towards Angkor Wat, not that far from Siem Reap. Absolutely monstrous temple complex, one of the largest, in fact I think it is the largest temple structure anywhere in the world.
Ready for a question, Andrew?
Yeah, go on, tell me.
Pick a destination between the 3, Cambodia, Pokhara and Nepal, or Ireland.
Well, I haven't been to Pokhara yet, would you
Is it?
believe? So
Okay.
I can't answer it.
Okay. Taken on the full. I'm not quite sure he's middled it well, but it falls into open space and they'll get a couple of more runs here.
Yeah, certainly. I've heard lots about Pokhara. I believe it's absolutely beautiful, stunning place to visit. But Angkor Wat I got up to, incredible. Where I was recently, though, another one of those temple structures, temple homes, that is Bhairawa, in fact, Lumbini province, the birthplace of Gautam Buddha. That's also in Nepal. Beautiful.
Yes, I did have the fortune to commentate for the World Cup qualifiers Asia region. I was at Mulpani, Lumbini.
Yeah, no, the Mulpani
Mulpani,
cricket ground.
yeah.
Yes, that's the other side of Kathmandu.
Right.
But I was down south, very close to the Indian border, about 3 kilometres north of the Indian border.
Right.
You've got a massive temple complex. This is beautifully driven. Going to get 4. Elegant stroke from the left-hander.
Meet Bhavsar, that's what he brings to the table. A lot of class in his carnage. Very good looking batter, 1 season full flow. Boundaries coming at ease here for Kuwait. They're making little work of this target. And look at that for a drive. Exquisite. Wow. This has been a good over for Kuwait. 8 gone. It's 97 for 1. Meet Bhavsar batting on 26, Ravija 34. Oh, that would have been a one-handed stunner. The bowler just about hits the turf in anger. Vimukti there. That was firmly struck by Ravija. That was travelling as well.
What a great effort. Really was his first delivery. He so nearly found the second wicket. This is smash back at him. It's the leg spinner, known as Monty within the team. Look, he thuds the turf in frustration. What a magic moment that would have been.
We've seen some fine efforts. Mohammad Aslam early in the day at mid-wicket, putting a desperate dive towards his left. Was airborne, missed out, and this time it's Vimukti as well. Full marks for the commitment. Another single down to long off.
Watched all three of the spinners. Obviously, spin bowling's close to my heart. What I used to bowl in my career, similar leg spin to this bowler here. But just really surprised not to see the left arm spinner. Thought he bowled really nicely in the warm up. Looked consistent, accurate, very good action. Leg spinner too. A little slower through the air. As you come up the grades, you'll need to bowl a bit flatter.
There again, didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball, but Ravi just making intentions clear. 100 up for Kuwait as well, and they've done it in quick time.
Yeah, they really have. There's been nothing but impressive ball striking and quality. Ravij has actually probably been the one that's battled the most. Flying start from Anto, and then Babsar's come in and played nicely. Drives and sweeps. And now with the spin, might just take on the leg spinner.
Short and wide. Yes, that has to be re-bowled. Hunt and pairs in team meetings, they keep discussing teams. As a batting pair, as a bowling pair, you need to complement each other, and that's what the top three of Kuwait have done. This time goes over the bowler's head. He'll fetch another single. Nice work done in the deep. And that was Sharwan Godra at long off. Already 5 runs coming off this over. It's been a tidy one, a quiet one as far as Kuwait is concerned.
Just a bit too slow through the air. That's the problem. So when you drag it down, it's going to get pumped out of the ground. Really good strike, wasn't it? Long hop, yes. Still have to put it away.
Enough time there for Ravija Sanduravan to just about ready himself, position himself, and dispatch that over mid-wicket. Oh, half-tracker. So much time. And look at the force he's put behind it. Everything that he had. Great camera work. Back live, takes an edge this time. But he'll fetch a single. What an over this has turned out to be. 12 runs coming off it. Well, in overdrive mode is Kuwait. 9 gone, it's 109 for 1. Ravija 43 in 27, Meet 28. This has turned out to be a very fine partnership for the third wicket. And just a matter of time before Kuwait pocket those 2 points. Change of gloves. We saw Ravija doing that. Gets a little sweaty.
Yeah, really sweaty. Very humid out there, Mikhail, so no surprise.
Once again, he goes aerial. And long off will only be a spectator. Watch it sail over him. Go fetch it, says Ravija. He's dealing in boundaries and sixes at the moment, and Kuwait are running away with this game.
Well, he's found the accelerator, isn't he, Mikhail? Because he was battling for the first, 12 or 15 deliveries of this knock. But this may well be the shot of the day. So difficult to hit it over long off from that position. Oh, look at that. Soars away into the sky.
Here again. Flicks it. Brings up his 50 as well in fine style. What a way to do it. Hit the home run. Get to your 50. As Kuwait are just about running away, and in quick time. What an innings this has been. He's paced it well, compiled it well, and now he's shifted gears too.
Well, it's a 9th T20 I-50 to go alongside that 1 century. Strike rate up towards 200. Brilliant batting. And certainly Has all that experience back in Sri Lanka, born in Colombo, 31 years of age. What a start for him to this tournament. Back-to-back maximums. First one was probably a bit more elegant, but this one was just as effective. Still cleared the rope.
This one once again presenting the full face of the bat, and it's a similar shot. It's a repeat. Long off becomes spectator. 6 number 3 of this over, and Kuwait now need a little under 20 to win this fixture.
And it's a landmark for Sandro when he goes past 1,500 runs in the T20I game in his 52nd appearance today. 21 yesterday. Well, he's going to triple that up, isn't he, today? Look at that. Third maximum.
What an innings this has been by Ravija. Just like the way he's paced it. He allowed Clinto Anto to be the aggressor in the beginning. He was happier being the accumulator. And after that, he shifted gears and become the dominant partner. 61 and 32. Wow. There again goes Ariel. Not quite sure he's middled it. Fielder coming underneath it. And that'll be taken. That's a very good catch in the deep. Never easy when you have to run in and complete the yards. But what an innings by Ravija Sanduravan. An innings of very high caliber and pedigree.
Yeah, Anish Prasad holds on. And another moment of joy, maybe the last moment of joy for Cambodia in this contest. 3 sixes in the innings. It's all been happening. But finally, Stanley gets his man. Good catch. Actually made it look easy, didn't he? Judged it very well, a running catch. So Kuwait's leading run scorer in the T20I game. He's gone, but he's done enough. He's gone past that landmark of 1,500 T20I runs as Kuwait are making it look easy. He falls for 61. And it's time for a drink with the score at 127 for 2.
सर जी अब नेक्स्ट मैच में भी है, नेक्स्ट मैच में भी कैमरामैन है, इधर ही रहता है आप सिर्फ.
On the bowling card, just 2 bowlers finding success. Lukman Butt, 1 for 17 in his 2, and just some time back, Salen Stanley getting the wicket of the informed Ravija Sanduravan. 16 extras for Cambodia. Kuwait cruising along, 127 for 2. Just the right time to introduce and welcome Amin Wagle in the com box. Amin, what a treat to watch Kuwait with the bat.
Yeah, there's been some chase here from Kuwait at the moment. Not planning to make it anything like heavy weather here. They'll want to get to the total as soon as possible. And with all those net run rates and a little bit of rain that's probably going to be in and around Muscat and surrounding areas the next couple of days, you might always want to have a healthy run rate, get those 2 crucial points on board with that win next to your name.
Oh yes, the acceleration has come in the right game at the right time, and it has worked for Kuwait. That's very important. Intent is one, execution is another part to it. Ghulam into his second over. Worked away, nicely flicked off his pads. That's Meet Bowser for you.
Yeah, well, Meet's been around in and around this Kuwait national team setup. He's coming from the ranks from the under-19, and you'll always see him performing for Kuwait more often than not. 29 of 19. He had a labourer's day on the previous match against UAE. Usman Ghani Patel is the new man in because of that wicket of Ravija, who was looking to go hammer and tongs. Was looking to finish the game in a hurry. Ghulam in for his second over.
Worked away fine up in the circle. That'll be 4 more. What a way to get off the mark. Another very ordinary delivery. Just letting the batter off the hook as well. Well, they're enjoying themselves. All smiles.
Yeah, certainly you can see that from the body language of the Cambodian players out there in the middle, out there in the park. The shoulders are slouched, but then they would have to take positives from this game, try and understand where they have missed out on, what are the good things that they've practiced today in this particular game. A few strategies have to be implemented and introduced into this national team setup in their minds. Short is not able to negotiate that. Usman Ghani, and this is going to be a dot ball. Now Ghulam Murtaza had a very, very expensive first over, was wayward, went for quite a few maximums, and this is something that the Cambodian team management will have to just put their heads together and go back to the drawing board and understand what kind of bowlers to be utilized at what stages of the innings.
Oh yes, but all said and done, I mean, I'd want to believe that when the Cambodia team walks back to the dugout or to the dressing room, they'll really pride over this effort of theirs. First game after the elevation, and they put up a decent show. Nicely played. Quick single. The batters, top 6 getting into double figures, 20s and 30s. Played some very good attacking cricket as well in the beginning. Bowlers, yes, a little off colour, but they were defending a small target and they were up against the side who was looking to find the net run rate going as well. All in all, I'd still want to believe Cambodia would be happy with this effort.
I'll also look at it with the intent with the batters played today, especially for Cambodia. And now when you look at positive intent, you would want to see the scoring rates, you would want to see the kind of shots that they've played, and nowhere in that 141 runs that they put up on board did they actually look out of sorts. Most of these runs were collected off some good looking shots, some decent hits, maturity as well. Shot, and of course this has been pulled. A little bit of a chase for the fielder, but no, he's not going to make it. The ball shall win the race. So a boundary for Meet Bowser, who's looking to get into the act and finish things off in style. Good looking boundary here.
In complete control, got into position quickly, and importantly got on top of the ball as well. Just like the swivel through the pull, an ordinary effort in the deep. And this means that Kuwait is now 1 hit away from securing their first points on the board, and this will certainly boost their net run rate. They're almost doing it in 11 to 12 overs.
Yeah, early showers or early day for Kuwait as well as Cambodia. Banged it in short, but then this time he just decides to nudge it away for a single behind square. So end of the over, it's 11 gone, it's 138 for 2, Kuwait at the moment. If you're interested in cricket and if you want to follow all that exciting action that's happening all around Asia, of course, you need to unlock cricket, and for that you need to download the ACC app right now on your iOS and Android devices. If you're one of these old school Windows users and prefer accessing information on the PC, you can always visit www.asiancricket.org, which I feel is probably a more complete experience. Get all your information in a large format, all those clickable links and all the snippets that you get, the news happening all around Asia, associate nations as well as the main playing nations, the popular ones. It's going to be Shavan Godara who's going to be entrusted with the ball and try to make a little bit of difference in this already done and dusted game. As far as Kuwait is concerned, they just require 4 runs of 54 deliveries, so it's an uphill task here. Wayward Empire Khalidasa will raise his arms, and it's probably going to be a wide here signaled from him.
On the up, another single for Meet Bowser. This could be it. This over could well end decide. the outcome of the game.
Absolutely, just 2 runs required. And once again, it's going back to the drawing board and understanding the skill sets of your players. Now, Shravan Godara started off with absolutely magnificent first 3 deliveries. He was bowling with zing, he was bowling with good pace on the ball, generating pace off the wicket as well. And then just that one wayward delivery where he conceded a wide and 4 runs. After that, it was just a uphill task. And now this is going to be a boundary played very late off his pads. And Usman Ghani Patel will score the winning runs. And what a victory this is from Kuwait. They've won this well-deserved, they've got this well-deserved victory and clinched this match by 8 wickets.
And almost 50 plus deliveries to spare as well. This has been a commanding, convincing and a cohesive win by Kuwait. Handshakes all around. Commiserations Cambodia, but they can walk back with their head held high. They've certainly played a very fine brand of cricket. Kuwait, much needed win after what happened against UAE yesterday. And they've certainly boosted their net run rate as well. 2 points for Kuwait in this Group B fixture. And they'll be mighty pleased with his batting effort as well as the bowling effort in game number 2.
Yeah, most certainly. And the positives have got to be that form, that red-hot form that Clinto Anto has found himself in at the top of the order. And along with him is, of course, Ravija Sandurwan Bodadura, and those fancy leg side shots, those towering sixes that he's managed to hit will always be something to watch out for all throughout this tournament. And that's the batting scorecard. Ravija Sandurwan De Silva and Clinto Anto, they opened the innings for Kuwait, and the bulk of the scoring was of course done by Ravija, but not before Clinto Anto got off to a flying start. Look at that, 22 runs of 9 deliveries. He was adjudged LBW by Lukman Butt, who I believed was the pick of the bowlers for Cambodia. Ravija then perished as well, but it was too little too late for Cambodia to bounce back. 61 of 33 is what he scored with. Meet Bowser played that anchor innings, made sure that he was out there till the very end. 35 of 22 for him. Usman Ghani Patel putting an end to the proceedings and ending with formalities, scoring that last boundary.
Well, the bowling effort, Lukman Butt and Salvin Stanley amongst wickets, just the 2 wickets to fall, 17 extras. But with regard to the economy, everyone went for runs but Lukman and Ram Sharan. It's been a batting fest as far as Kuwait is concerned. The first wicket fell at the score of 50 and the next at 127. Otherwise, it always looked like Cambodia were never really going to stop Kuwait for the kind of attacking mood that they were in. And this meant that Kuwait went on to chase down the target in 11.2 overs with 8 wickets in hand. Well, Kuwait came out with intent and they executed their plans exceptionally well as well. Clinto Anto and Ravija Sanduravan were the batters who actually opened the innings. So we'll take you through the highlights as well and bring you the chase in a short while from now. Yeah, they came out to bat. 142 was the target and they were in a hurry as well. They just about found the gaps with ease. They played some wonderful hits and improvised and made full use of the field restrictions on offer. The fielders had a lot of work to do this morning. Some very, very towering hits by Clinto Anto and Ravija Sanduravan. They made batting look very easy, almost depositing that in the administrative block as well. A good enough track to bat on and they made full use of it, using good use of the feet. They were lucky at times, a few upper shots went in the gap, but they were dictating terms, some very classical pulls too. And this was the first wicket. Clinto playing across the line and Lukman Butt struck very early. That was Meet Bowser getting off the mark with a very good straight drive. He was elegant in front of the wicket, square of the wicket, and he looked in command as well. Then it was time for Ravija Sanduravan to change gears. He brought in the innovation and the fearless approach that he always brings to the table. Some exquisite drives, some wonderful towering hits as well. And that's how Kuwait went about their batting in this chase, as they made little work of the Cambodian bowling, who had no answer to their home runs and big hits. Ravija Sanduravan bringing up his 50 in fine style, hitting back-to-back sixes, some elegant straight drives, and also presenting the full face of the bat and hitting some elegant and monstrous sixes over long off. This time around, though, was not too lucky, was taken in the deep by Anish when he tried to go for the 4th 6 in that over. It was Ravija calling the shots in the middle. By the end of it, Meet Bowser took matters into his own hands and applied the finishing touches, as this ended up being the winning moment for Kuwait as well. That lovely little flick through mid-wicket for a 4, fetching Kuwait 2 points and the winning runs as well. An absolute dominant effort here by Kuwait.
So that pretty much summarizes it all. And electing to bat first, Cambodia 141 for 5 is what they managed of 20 overs. Ram Charan and Lukman Butt were probably the pick of the batters, and in terms of bowling, almost every Kuwaiti bowler managed to pick up a wicket each. They bowled 3 overs apiece. In response, Kuwait did not make heavy weather of this. 144 for 2 was achieved in just 11.2 overs. Ravija Sandurvan De Silva 61 of 33, and then of course Meet Bowser was the second in line, 35 of 22. Not before Clinto Anto got off to that flying start for Kuwait. Amongst the bowlers, of course, only Lukman Butt and Salvin Stanley contributed. The bottom line, of course, is that Kuwait have managed to clinch 2 points. They've won this match by 8 wickets. We'll head down for a short break. On the other side of the break, it's of course going to be Andrew, and he's going to be with the post-match presentation. Do stay tuned, stay connected.
अलाउड ही नहीं है ना, दोनों ग्राउंड पे चल रहा है ना मैच, पीएमओ है ना,
उधर ही तमाशाई नहीं है,
तमाशाई उस तरफ है,
उस साइड पे जाएगा।
हाँ उस तरफ जाओ, स्कोर बोर्ड के उस तरफ, अपना नेक्स्ट है ना उस तरफ।
ओमानी टीम उधर ही मैच है, उधर ही है।
आज किधर है?
आज नहीं है।
इधर नेपाल कतर है।
ये भी चतरा तुम्हारी को अरे हमें तस्वीर है साल्फा हाँ तस्वीर है
ना दिखे साल्फा आज हमें गांड कष्ट मनी
तो
लाजो में पत्रा लापा मुझे सपोर्ट को तौर को
हमें बाहर की बच्चे बोल दो तो को
आओ तौर तो आज जाले गो अनु को खबर ही तो
हां
आए अगर कुछ मर्ची प्रोसेस बंद है साथ शीशे तक कुछ है ना कुछ नहीं हुआ हां मार्च के लिए
Okay, time for the post-match presentation. A historic day for Cambodian cricket. Their first ever appearance here in the ACC Men's Premier Cup. They acquitted themselves really well too. They posted 141 for 5 from their 20 overs, but Kuwait made pretty light work of the chase, got a good net run rate boost, and they picked up their first points of the tournament, picking up the win by 8 wickets. Before we speak to both captains and we find out who the player of the match is, we've got plenty of sponsors to thank, particularly our broadcast partners, starting with the official streaming partner in India, that's FanCode. Then our official broadcast partner back in Nepal, that's Kantapur TV. Our official partners of DAFA News, 1xBat, Babu88 Sports, and our commercial partner, the TCM team there in Delhi in India. Our thanks to all of them for helping to make tournaments like these possible. So I'd like to speak first to the losing captain today, Lukman Butt of Cambodia will come up to talk to me. Lukman, hard luck today, but a very historic day. You must be very proud of your team, the first time they've ever played at this level.
जी फर्स्ट टाइम है, बिग अचीवमेंट है हमारी टीम कंबोडिया के लिए, बाउंस बैक करेंगे इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट.
Yeah, I've no doubt you will bounce back. Talk about the batting first. You made 141. Were you happy with that total, or you would have liked a few more runs?
बैटिंग में तकरीबन 30 से 40 रन कम किए हैं, ज़्यादा होना चाहिए थे 30 से 40 रन.
Okay, what about the bowling? There was a few bad balls in there, maybe too many extras, some wides as well.
बॉलिंग डिसिप्लिन नहीं हुई, गंदी बॉलिंग हुई, एक्स्ट्रा बहुत एक्स्ट्रा हुआ जिसकी वजह से ये 10 ओवर में मैच चेज हो गया.
Okay, final question. Big challenge tomorrow. You play against the hosts Oman. Are you excited about that?
कोशिश करेंगे ये जो आज गलतियाँ की हैं, मिस्टेक की हैं, वो कल ना करें, अच्छा खेलेंगे इंशाल्लाह.
Lukman, I thought your boys were exceptional today. Many congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, that's the captain of Cambodia, Lukman, but many congratulations to his side. First ever appearance at this level. Okay, winning captain time. Let's speak to Mohammed Aslam of Kuwait. Mohammed, many congratulations. Not easy to bounce back 2 games in 24 hours after the disappointment yesterday. You were so nearly there, but this is a big win for your team.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. This is a big win for us. We are happy, but same time we put net run rate also a little bit up. I hope it's good run rate is there. So tomorrow is rest game. We will come day after tomorrow with a good energy.
Were you surprised by how good Cambodia were with the bat? The top 6 all made double figures, 141. There was really good effort from them in the first innings.
Yeah, definitely. We also a little bit take lightly, but you know, the day of the cricket we cannot predict any team. So they are impressed with the batting. They played full 20 overs with the 5 wickets only. They batted well.
Yeah, they batted really well. What about your batting? Your leading run scorer in T20I history, added again with 61. And this new tactic of Clinto Anto up the top, it seems to be working. It's getting you off to quick starts.
Yeah, definitely. From yesterday game also he played a good knock, and today also he started very well. So he's our new player into the chain. Now I hope for the future games also he do same thing.
How do you assess this group? It's a very tough group. 4 fine sides vying for those 2 semi-final spots. We see UAE getting big scores again over on the second ground. Do you feel you have to win all of your remaining games to get to the semi-final?
Yeah, definitely, because for the, you know, we have a target to go at least for the stay with the first 3 ranking. So it's not easy, we know, but on the day who playing good, they will win. We are playing T20 cricket. So I believe in my boys. We have already achieved some historical moment, so I hope this time also we will go with the historical moment.
Okay, final question. Day off tomorrow. How badly do you need that? The conditions very hot, very humid.
Yeah, definitely. It's not easy to hear with the humid especially. We have a good rest day today. From here we are resting. So tomorrow also we have a good resting, and we will come with the good energy for the day after tomorrow.
Okay, enjoy that rest day tomorrow. We'll see you in 2 days' time.
Thank you very much. Thank
Okay,
you.
lovely to chat to Mohammed Aslam. Okay, time for the player of the match decision. I'd like to ask my ACC match referee, that's Mr. Prakash Bhatt, to come up and present our trophy as he did yesterday. Plenty of good performances, and a special mention particularly for Cambodia's captain. Thought he batted and bowled really nicely. Books too with 23 off just 12, and Meet Babsar with 35 not out. But ultimately, the player of the match, well, he's the leading run scorer for Kuwait in this format for a region. He made 61 off 33 deliveries. 3 4s, 7 6s. The player of the match is Ravija Sandrawan. So Ravija is going to receive his award from Mr. Prakash Bhatt, the ACC match referee. Pose for a photo too. And come and have a chat with me. Ravija, well played, congratulations. 61, were you happy with your batting?
Yeah, I'm happy, but I can finish the game. I think that finished well.
You looked to me like just at the start of your innings you were struggling to find your timing, but then you really got into your groove. You played very nicely.
Yeah, this condition yesterday also I think little take time. Anytime I know I can cover it. Then I take little time.
Do you keep an eye on statistics? You've now made 1,500 T20I runs. You're the leading run scorer in the history of Kuwaiti cricket.
Yeah, it's good achievement. I'm happy with that.
Okay, finally, where do you assess the performance after 2 days for your team? 1 win, 1 loss, but you're still very much in the semi-final picture?
Yeah, but yesterday it's hard luck. But we plan next game 1 by 1. Bahrain game we'll give good fight and plan to come.
I think that's going to be a brilliant game. You're the player of the match today. Many congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, a really good performance from Ravija Sandrawan, the player of the match. It'll wrap up our coverage here on the Academy Oval 1. Get over to the Academy Oval 2 because UAE are still in action there. And we'll see you this afternoon as Nepal will take on Qatar. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you very shortly.